What's up, Mo?
Howdy.
Welcome in here.
I can't wait to roast this human turd.
Yeah. And you've already watched this.
Yeah, now I will say that I wrote a parody of what Sarah would say at sentencing. Not even in my worst fever dream did I imagine the stuff this chick would say. But it was like with every word, I was just like, Sarah, no, don't. It's like when Willy Wonka was like, don't drink it, please. No, don't stop. I
Yeah.
was like,
You
just
don't want to do
dig your
that.
hole. Like she was to China at
Dude.
that point.
Yeah, and
And
like I've said, elsewhere, she's done this to herself, dude. She has no one to blame but her own stupidity, her own.
oh yeah.
Yeah, her everything she's done has been literally from the moment that she killed George to right now to yesterday is every day I'm being an absolute fucking moron continuously.
Yes.
Like there was no looking inward, there was no remorse, there was nothing. Like one of the
No.
biggest actual human pieces of trash to walk planet Earth. Like I don't even think that's I mean,
Yeah, and the only
it's
people on
Hitler,
her
Sarah
side
Boone.
are Penny Problem Glasses from HR, her expert, and then Owens. Now, if these two are standing next to you on the Titanic, you done effed up. If these two are your only people left on your, five, remember when you had a five and you're like, look, I'm sorry, but we don't talk enough for you to be on my five, and my parents said I had to cut you.
Dude, yeah, she's something else. Like, we're gonna be jumping in here. Like I told Wilbur before we got in here, I've got this set up right when it starts. We'll kind of jump around. I'll actually kind of play off a Mo here to see what we should be
That's good. I
doing.
will say the technical abilities of the people in the Zoom rooms made me feel seen.
Okay, all right. So they're pretty rough. Like you can't actually.
There, it's like this. Like
Oh,
I don't see you. How do we got like some nostril
oh
shots
my
too?
God. Okay, this is
And
gonna be amazing.
and I felt bad because it was the daughter, but I was like, okay, it's a phone. You just set it on like a coffee cup or something, and it'll kind of stay there. And it's just like all over the.
Dude. All right. Yes, I'm excited. Everyone tonight, thank you so much. Let me hold on. Bassett Page, I just saw you come through here. I'm going to get you on the wheel. Let me just see where I'm at on that real quick to see how close we are to doing another wheel. I believe the next one is for a shirt. So let me get you on here, Bassett Page, and I appreciate the shit out of that. Getting in here and becoming a member in the Buzz Nation. Where are we at right now? We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're one away from a spin, guys. The next, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, member, gifted, super, any of those could get a will spin here tonight again for a free t-shirt giveaway at publiclybuzz.com.
Ooh.
And we got a new holiday design in there. The classic designs, of course. But yeah, we're about to jump in here, start rocking and rolling. Thanks everyone for being here tonight. And this potentially might be the last Sarah Boone stream. We were both talking about that. I know that we're both kind of fed up with the Sarah Boone here.
Well, I mean, I will be anxious for her semi-annual, dump of Mein Kampf, like, just absolute, my life is a struggle, but I'm going to still fly, by Sarah Boone, the compilation of letters of my imprisonment.
I do
I'll
hope that
be
we
happy.
I do hope that we continue to get these letters.
Oh my
You
gosh,
think
if
these
she
will
reaches out to me personally, because here's what's going to happen. This is the
She's
worst thing for
calling
Sarah.
out
She is
YouTubers,
going
right?
to she is going to be forgotten and ignored to the point that she will reach out to some of us. And I beg you, Sarah, I have so many questions. Mostly, how do you get your hair to stick? Because when I had your wig, I used a full can of like wave or brave. So,
Dude, and
like,
dude, her hair is like the stiffest hair. Like it don't move. Like it's almost
no,
like an action figure. Like
it really is the Legoiest of Lego hair.
and real quick, we actually just Dixie, thank you so much. You finished this off coming through Venmo with $5. While this plays here, I will start working on this wheel, and we'll give away the T-shirt tonight. Thank you so much, Dixie. Appreciate that.
Sounds good.
Hell yeah, I'll give you a little love here too.
Baby, I got your money, don't you worry. Give me the loot, give me the loot.
All right. And right here, that's how you start a new will, folks. First of all, let me get it up so you can see it. Let me get Sarah out of the way. Boom. Jedi Jess for Moe's Swear Jar. It's a $1.99. That's how you start a new will. And the new will actually probably be for the Holy Trinity, the trifecta of stickers.
I felt so bad. I was dual streaming with Baker, and I didn't realize we were after 2 hours. I did not stop myself before I said, "Oh, for flip's sake!" Only as per the Christmas story, I used the real fudge.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, and then I was like, "Oh crap! I am so sorry. I mean, damn it! I mean, you know, I can't stop once I've started."
I love it. All right, guys, let's get in here. Let's see what. Hey, drop opinions in the chat. If you're a fan of Sarah Boone, drop in the chat. Let us know if you're brave enough. Let's go.
Yes, please come and explain yourself in front of the congregation. I have many questions. Also, where did you get your gummies? Because a sister needs to know.
I'm going to miss Judge Kraynick. I really enjoyed him.
I do. I just wish he had walked in with like a 50-page stack of paper. Sarah, per your recent correspondence, I have responses to every single one. I just like to write them out. And it's just a vaguely insulting, condescending language.
Dude, you know, it would be cool because he has to be professional and he's got to be smart and he doesn't want any kind of, bullshit or appellate issues or whatever. But if he could really, after what he's been through with this lady, dude, I would love to be at like a part, his Friday night or Saturday night with his buddies and he's really kind of laying it out.
Could you imagine him? Fuck this cahoon. I hate her. God bless you. God bless you.
This very mild-mannered man who has been amazing, right? Like he's been so like one of the best, absolutely. Like some of them are rubbing me the wrong way personally. After
shushed him, I would have thrown my gavel at him like it was a boomerang and I was Crocodile Dundee.
Dude,
I'd have been like, I am God in this court. I don't know who the hell you're shushing.
Yeah.
Bailiffs, come get him.
Yeah, he was endlessly rude to Judge Kraynick, like the way he would address him at any point in time. It was very frustrating.
State of Florida versus Sarah Boone, 2020 CF 2603.
You have got to watch smiling like she watched The End of Old Yeller 15 times. This is what I imagine she watches to smile, though. So.
State. William J. for the state.
Defense.
James Owens for Sarah Boone.
Ms. Boone is seated at counsel's table. Ma'am, if you could please raise your right hand, Madam Clerk's going to go ahead and swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give?
Okay, and I know it's petty of me, but I'm glad that she has to use little T-Rex arms. Like it helps me to it tickles the dead dull parts of my heart to see that she's got little T-Rex hands.
Dude, that's amazing. You can see her little hand. That's me. I'm ready. Dude, do you think if she would have shown any amount of remorse up here in this, in her reading, that he would have not given her life, or you think that was already kind of settled in his head?
I think that he was playing with it. I do think that he was, I think he had a couple of options, and I think he kind of thought it through like one of those logic trees, like if remorse shown, then to what degree, maybe I'll give her a little bit. But then after 45 minutes of watching Sarah just take a giant steaming dump on the victim's family,
dude,
I think he was like, no, okay, we're just gonna go life. Like, okay, you wanted to play?
I think you're probably right, man. Because like the plea, like they were gonna give her as much leniency, way too much leniency, honestly. Like, just to get them out of their hair.
Well, and she's so this is pathological. And I know that according to actual professionals, she only showed characteristics or signs, but not the full diagnostic criteria to be a narcissist. But she is pathologically unable to preserve herself if she's going to be thought less of, or she is going to have to admit she's wrong. And honestly, Judge Kraynick did the right thing. I mean, what happens the next time someone pisses her off? What happens the next time, she's dealing with her substance abuse that's not really a problem? And how many times did she drive drunk? Or drive drunk with her son in the car?
Dude, yeah.
I mean,
The fact that the Brian would even let that kid go over there and stay nice, knowing how she is pretty fucked up too.
Well, he also knows how the court system's going to be to a mom.
That's
So,
true. That's true.
I mean,
He's
there are
probably playing the
moms
best
that are-
hand he had. I mean,
Yeah, and Sarah will clean up. I mean, Sarah will put on the little girl voice and she will talk about how
And
she's the victim.
we've seen how manipulative she is in those police cam videos. Like, she's
Oh, yeah.
instantly just like here, like so fucking manipulative with men, especially, right?
Yeah, it is funny to see men that don't like the cop that she's like, "Can I get a hug?" And he's like,
Yeah, and even the one that went, I think it might have been right after that. They're kind of blended in my head, but the one that had to go inside the residence, and she's just drunk as piss, and she's like, "I'm not going.
yeah.
I ain't arrested." And he's just like, "Ma'am, I'm just."
I'm just here
Please,
for
can
your
we finish?
statement. Like,
He started like finally like just sit down. He didn't even get that tone. Actually, he's like, "Sit down, please." Like, I want to
see,
escape.
these cops are better than me because I'd have been like, "Are you going to sit down and shut up so I can do my job, or should I just leave?"
Actually, one of my favorite quotes came from that cop. She kept saying, "I'm not going to be arrested. I'm not going to be arrested. I can't be arrested." And then finally he got tired of it and he said, is there a reason you should be arrested? He says something along those lines because he's kind of feeling
Yeah.
it. You can tell, but everything's kind of already done. But I think he felt it, man. Like,
I would have arrested her ass so fast. She
Dude.
annoys the ever living poo out of me.
dude, I hate her. I hate Sarah Boone.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can you state your full name and date of birth for the record for us?
Sarah Boone, 10-10-77.
We are here for a sentencing. The jury returned a verdict on October 25, finding you, Miss Boone, guilty of murder in the second degree.
How is Owens going to do this without two
We're
assistants?
running a little bit late
and four
this
other
afternoon. I
attorneys?
apologize for that. I was in court
Yeah, she
all
had a whole
morning
team,
and took
dude.
the opportunity to
Tina,
review
thank
all
you
of
so
your
much.
submittals, from earlier this
we
morning,
got that.
Mr. Owens, including the
Jen D, welcome in here.
victim or the character statements, the psychological evaluation
Welcome to the
by
Buzz
Dr.
Nation.
Harper, the motion for downward departure, the motion for new trial, and the state's response to same. Before we proceed with any sentencing in this matter, the court needs to address the defendant's motion for new trial and the state's response to the defendant's motion for new trial. Anything in addition you'd like to argue at this time, Mr. Owens, over and above what is contained in your motion, sir?
No, sir.
State.
No, sir.
The state
All right,
should have just
after
responded like
reviewing the
this.
motion and the state's response to same,
Really?
Two
the
Owens.
defendant's
Do we
motion
need
for new
to-
trial is denied.
We'll just
Based on
replay
the
what
court's
Jay
review of
said.
The record,
at
the court's
the trial.
participation in the
Yarana
trial, review of all the
deuces.
evidence, and the court's prior findings and rulings at trial and prior thereto. With that, I believe that we're prepared to proceed with sentencing at this time. The court has reviewed the pre-sentencing investigation prepared by the Department of Corrections. Are there any housekeeping matters that we need to address, Mr. Jay or Mr. Cacciatore, before we proceed?
Not from the state.
Are there any housekeeping matters from your
Actually
side of
got a
the ledger,
little
sir, that we need to
T-Rex
address,
here.
Mr. Owens?
Oh, you can't really see him because he's
Judge,
green, but hold
I
on.
do have
Oh, I do like it.
Take my green screen off.
witnesses that are going to testify.
Look at that guy.
Dr. Harper here to testify.
I know. Had I known you used green screens, I wouldn't have worn my green
The
sweatshirt.
witness is also here by Zoom. She lives up in Minnesota.
Boo.
I don't know if that's allowed.
We don't have an objection to that.
So
One of
Minnesota
our,
lady is kidney lady.
Witnesses will be
She might be
providing
my
an impact
favorite.
statement, would also like to appear on the court's virtual link as well.
Okay, so stipulated.
Does his family come up
If you need
first?
it, just let Anita know,
Yes.
and I can have her email it to you right now, the link.
We do have the link.
I'm gonna jump
she's
to that.
waiting to.
Yeah, this is probably gonna be rough, isn't it?
The mother is the hardest.
Please.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Ma'am, good afternoon. Could you state and spell your name for the record for us?
Blanca Torres.
Okay. Ma'am, you can go ahead.
The audio's not great. I don't know that she knew to speak
I
into the
just
mic.
wanted,
Let me turn it up.
I just want to tell Sarah Boone that I don't hate her for what she did.
That's okay. We hate her for you.
And I always remember.
Some interesting insight there from Jules in the chat, who was in this room during the sentencing. The last thing that she said to Mr. Owens was, "I can't believe he gave me life."
Again, the only two people in the world surprised. These two would get shocked in a mirror.
Dude.
I swear to
Like, yeah, it's ridiculous.
like, who's my twin?
That evening, when that lady came into my door and she knocked at the door, and she asked for my name. I said, I tell her my name, and then she said, "Can I come in?" I said, "Okay,
Oh my
yes."
gosh, I have that one too.
Oh, nice.
She told me to
Dude,
sit
this one's
down.
been run ragged. I need to get
I
another one.
never think that that's
kinda
was going to
wobbly.
be my son. And then she said my son was dead. Since that day, I can't sleep. It's hard for me to remember that moment. My son is not here no more. She don't only kill my son, she killed a father, a brother, an uncle. It's been hard. I'm a family because all the brothers, they will always work together. But now it's like something real. Love is missing. Sometimes when I look out the window, I'm waiting for him to come and say, "Mom, I love you." She was always there. She called and called me. I missed us, Mommy. The last time that I talked to him was at 12 o'clock in January, New Year. He came to my bed and said, "Mom." He woke me up and I said, "Mom, I love you. Happy New Year." Since that day, I don't see him no more. He was my son. I love him. And I miss him a lot, and my family miss him a lot too. But I don't hear her. But you know what? I was blessed. She ain't gonna be blessed like me because I have my son. I raised him. I have his children, my granddaughter, my grandson, and she don't gonna be able to have that. And I did. I raised him. He wasn't perfect, but he was a good son. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. State anything further from this witness?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, sir.
Thank you.
I will say that the class that the mother showed
Oh,
is
dude.
not going to be reflected in Sarah.
Like, I can't even, like, to open up with "I forgive you." Like,
Yeah.
I did like how she went in on her at the end there. I mean, the best way she could,
Michael,
because
your
that's the
next
absolute
yeah.
truth.
impact
But
state.
like, dude, that's
She
the strength that
was
she
so
showed is
classy.
something that I don't think I even have in my body. Like, that's
I don't
crazy.
know that I
Like,
could forgive. Like, I don't know if you saw the sentencing, because Baker and I decided to just, do all the emotional stuff. So we went to the Jamie Komorowski sentencing after that.
Oh, wow.
Because, why
Double
not?
dose.
Let's just, cry the entire night like we've been watching Hallmark. Okay.
Yeah.
But the only thing we needed, you will have to look up the biological father, his victim impact statement, because he basically told her, like, "I hate you, I don't forgive you, and if I go to hell because I didn't forgive you, I'll be waiting there to open the door for you."
Wow. That's heavy.
So the backstory on the dad was that he was probably hit by a drunk driver and left by the side of the road to die. So he had finally just forgiven the unknown person that did that, like just a couple of years ago. And then this happened. And he's like, and now that hate is back with a vengeance. And he just, you could That one, I was like, table flipping Jesus, I'm here. Like, I have a grudgery. I will hold on to the hate for you. I have Scottish Irish genes. We are here for the long haul, William Wallace. Like,
Dude, nah, man, like that would be me. I would be the person that
yeah.
would be, just holding this grudge and vengeful.
Well,
and,
because she looked like flippin' Billy Bass that was confused as to how did my life get like this? You drove into a damn golf cart. That's what happened. You were drunk
Yeah.
as hell.
yeah, and that one didn't actually go to trial, did it? Didn't something end up?
She took a plea deal.
Yeah, that's right.
So she ended up getting 25 years because they all ran concurrent, but apparently she threw a little bitch fit in the back. Like, Daddy said that I wasn't 25 years. And I'm like, you killed someone.
Dude, and showed no remorse in the beginning, if I remember.
No,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, I don't understand why this happened to me,
Yeah, it's the
Dad.
same Sarah Boone. Even though I think Sarah Boone murdered George like outright, but
I
like
think
But-
there was premeditation with
I
Sarah.
do too, man. Like I didn't used to think that until the trial. I thought it was a fucking drunk. You know what I mean? I didn't believe everything she was saying, but I didn't think she killed him. And I do
think
now.
He was getting
Like,
ready to move on. I think, he was getting ready to, his mom had gotten him a phone. I think he realized how toxic this was. And she was like, fine, pack all your stuff. And then she probably attacked him from behind.
Yeah, with the
and
testimony
put
from
him
the
in
neighbors,
suitcase.
the noise they
Yeah.
heard coming down the stairs, and then there at the end, Mr. J talking about the contusion on his head and the way that he was in
Yeah.
the suitcase. He couldn't have gotten that inside the suitcase. He would have gotten that outside. So like, dude,
And
she
he
hit.
was so frail.
Yeah, dude.
She
like,
wailed on him. She didn't hold back.
yeah, like so. Yeah, that life is totally perfect. I think. Like, I didn't think that. I really didn't. Like, I even on some old streams, I was like, man, I don't think she's gonna. I don't want her to get away, but I don't think she meant to kill him. But I was flipped
Yeah,
completely.
I figured
dude.
she was going to get the minimum. I figured that, she was, but then she opened her trap.
She can't stop being the biggest piece of shit ever. Like she.
No.
That's her only. That's the only
and
thing she's
she-
actually good at is being horrible.
She is like, me and Gandhi, we're like this. And I'm like, ma'am, you are not the Rosa Parks of domestic violence. You make me want to commit violence and repeal the 19th, but only for you, Sarah.
Yeah, dude. Like Sarah fucking Boone, dude.
Victoria Torres.
Okay. Is this his daughter?
This is his sister.
Okay.
And I know this is terrible, but I don't like to focus on emotional things, so I'm like, I need to start doing some squats.
I do.
Ma'am, could you state and spell your name
I'm
for
the
the
same.
record for us,
though.
please?
Victoria
I'm not very
Torres.
good with emotions and stuff.
My name is Victoria Torres. George is my brother.
Oh, dude.
Unfortunately, my family has experienced two horrifying tragedies. And I just want to make it clear that George deserves justice. As far as my other brother and Sarah deserve to rot in jail.
So
Sarah has caused a life.
pause real quick. So apparently, and it comes out because Sarah's a cahoot, but apparently another brother, one of George's brothers, is either behind bars or going to go on trial for unaliving the mother of his children.
Oh shit.
Now, Sarah Boone is going to throw out convict brothers when she has a brother that's possibly
I've seen a little bit of that. Yeah.
possibly not allowed to be near schools, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So maybe those with convict brothers who've done horrible things shouldn't throw them, but who am I to judge?
Yeah. She's not good. She's not thinking about that. She's like, that's different. That's totally different. He was set up.
He was entrapmented. It was Chris Hansen.
Hey, he thought she was 18. Come on now. Let's
She said she was 18. How was he to know?
come on now.
a lifetime of horrible images, a lifetime of hearing my brother George plead for his life.
Yeah, when they start getting emotional, that's
This
what
is
gets
just
me. It's-
this moment for all of you. For me and my family, it's forever. Such a simple thing as using a suitcase is so triggering. I try not to close it all the way. And leave
This
at
was
least like 2
powerful.
or 3
Holy
inches
fuck.
for the zipper. And it might sound crazy, but it just
No, it
helps me.
sounds just normal.
She really has flipped my family's life upside down. And I just hope that we can truly get justice for my brother. And I just want to tell the team thank you so much for everything they did. Thank you.
Thank you. State anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes.
Thank you.
So I guess in this hearing, both sides are able to ask questions. You'll see Owens kind of go through and lead his witnesses because, well, he's Owens.
Yeah.
He doesn't trust women to talk for themselves, except Sarah. Sarah, the one chick, he's like, no, sweetie, you just go ahead. You
It's-
tell them your truth.
You're true. Yes. Dude. Yeah. So they could have asked the sister there some questions if they wanted.
Yeah, I think Owens might understand strategery of a gnat, so he's like, yeah, possibly don't cross, a grieving
Yeah,
family.
yeah.
Sarah would have done it. That's the one saving grace of her not being pro se, because Sarah would have interrogated the ever loving shit out of these people.
Dude, she would have
And-
not stopped. Yeah.
No, she blames everyone but
Yeah,
herself.
She literally would not stop talking which would never happen. So she would never stop talking until she got what she thinks is right, which is for people to see that she is innocent, to see that it was a mistake, or, whatever the story she's trying to plant. But what was incredibly powerful was, and horribly fucking sad, is the suitcase line. Like, they can't even use
Yeah.
a suitcase or zip it all the way up. And how triggering would that fucking be? Like,
And I mean, imagine going on YouTube, and that's why I didn't play the video.
dude, that video is
and I-
nightmare fuel.
And Baker was really good about not playing it a whole lot, but imagine just being on YouTube and every day someone has a hot take on this. And I think it's important. It was an important reminder to me that there's a funniness, but then there's also this really serious part of this trial. I mean, I think everyone kind of locked in on the fuck did she put him in a suitcase for? And hide and seek doesn't work like that.
Right. That's not how it actually works. Yeah, dude. Well, to the comedy aspect of it, Publicly Buzzed, and I know you do a lot of times too. We try to do some kind of levity because it's so fucking much.
She's a fucking cartoon character. If she hadn't unalived someone, I would watch the ever-loving shit out of her being an annoying mega Karen.
Yeah, 100%.
Everywhere. She is a train wreck that I would love if she hadn't done something so heinous. That's the problem. Sarah could have made bank on YouTube being the most hated lolcow ever. Move over Amberlynn Reed, move over Nikocado Avocado, now Skinny Cado,
Yeah.
which is weird because
Yeah.
I'm like,
He looks very strange now. Somehow worse.
it's the shaved head. I'm like, do I need to get you a Make-A-Wish? I'm just asking for a friend because I don't want to make fun of you if you have, something bad. But
I was about to say, it
you're
looks
kinda
like he has AIDS. Is he dying of cancer? He looks horrible. All right. Who loses 300 pounds and they look worse somehow. You look sickly. Probably because how
it's
fast he
because
did it.
Well, that, and I think we're used to him being more rumbly tumbly, kind of roly poly. So it's such a shock. And he did it kind of sneakily. So he kept posting fluffy I need to do that. I'm gonna look skinny. I'm gonna just find my fattest pictures and like put them up there and be like, that was before and this is after.
See how quick I did that?
Yeah. Like forget Ozempic. It's called time.
All right, let me see. What's coming up next?
There is a phone call from
Okay.
the daughter, but it is hard to kind of understand her, and we do get kind of
the
nostril
yeah, that's the
cam.
terrible. Okay, so we can go back
But
to that one.
yeah, I mean, and then so this is the prison minister. If you want to, she just basically says that Sarah is super de duper spiritual and she was totally a blessing and sincere. Then it's two women that she met in prison. One is possibly her girlfriend, allegedly in Minecraft. She did wear her good leggings, so if you do want to see, they're damn near flesh tone though.
Oh
so
wow!
I don't know.
Anytime
if that
anyone
was
wears flesh tone leggings, it throws me so far off. Like
it does. I'm like, is that heifer naked in the
yeah, it's like my
Walmart?
eyes are just playing tricks on me. I'm like, wait, how did you get in here?
Yeah, and I'm like, ma'ams, we're trying to conceal cellulite. If you wear flesh-colored, leggings,
Yeah, if you got cellulite and you wear flesh-colored leggings or any really light color, but especially flesh-colored, dude, you can see it all. Like you're literally just looking at their ass. Mine's well.
yeah.
Like no crack. That's the only thing that's missing. It's a crackless ass in the beige.
Yeah, and if you're like me and you haven't done your squats and you have more of the Midwestern SpongeBob SquarePants butt, it's just the terrible. It's like two rectangles on top of each other.
Oh man. All right, I am interested to hear this latest. This is I don't want to say
prison chaplain.
Okay, prison chaplain. Let's see.
solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and
God told me to come here today.
Ma'am, could you state and spell your name for the record for us, please?
Diane Smith, Diane
Okay, thank you very much. Counselor, you may inquire.
And Ms. Smith, tell the court a little bit about you.
I was a chaplain at the 33rd Street Jail for 30 years.
And have you been a chaplain at the jail here in Orange County?
Yes, Orange County Jail
Is that the same
for
jail
30
you're
years.
referring to?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And during that period of time, did you have occasion to meet with Sarah Boone?
I
That was a
did.
long time.
And was it over the course of how long?
I've known her 4 years.
And if you could tell
God
the
have
court what
mercy
you'd
on
like
you,
to say.
Okay. Well, I first met Sarah. She came in. We have a Christian dorm, and Sarah enrolled in our Christian program, and she was in my classes for a
Satan was
year.
allowed in
And
She just didn't bust into flames?
I know. I'm picturing a Wicked Witch of the West, from Oz, just melting like. "Ah."
She's like, oh, this will be
Someone
nice.
yelling,
Oh, what's
"Power
happening?
of
She starts
Christ compels you,
smoking.
the power.
she was very sincere in her efforts to change her life and to be a better person. And I found her very helpful. She was kind and good to
What
people.
was it?
I said, did she meet our Sarah? Also, ma'am, does your soul have glaucoma?
Yeah, and like you got to think at this moment, probably Sarah is going in there and probably putting on a big old show. She wants this person to like her. She wants this person to
According
believe her
the
story.
inmate
Like,
notes, in the inmate notes, she was semi-racist and condescending and always trying to smuggle shit. So, I mean,
she was
I'm not
only
sure
nice
which
to
part
this.
of the New Testament she was going with, but
She was like, you know what? If God forgives me, He can help me out, and then He will get me through this. And he's like, there's only one person I got to be nice to.
Steve, you are this close to the actual equation that Sarah used to prove herself innocent
Oh
to
wow!
herself.
Holy crap! Damn, I
By
gotta
the
back up.
transitive property of Christ's resurrection, Sarah is now made new.
Oh my god, dude!
She loved
She
to
wearing a cross?
serve.
She better be.
And she helped the new girls that would come in, the younger girls. She would mother them and be very kind and very helpful. And then after she graduated from the program, I was her counselor for the other 3 years. And I always found her, very sincere and, trying to do better.
Donna.
I spoke with many inmates that knew her and was associated with her. And they spoke very highly of her and said that, she was helpful and kind and tried to help other people. And I just found her to be, very sincere and trying to be a very good person and change. And help people.
Was the Bible involved at all?
Oh, yes, it was all spiritual. That's our,
It burned her hands.
yes, it was spiritual growth plus
Sorry.
character, growth and character, trying to just be a better person in general. She was,
When she sat in a pew in that area, she probably burnt like a black mark into it. Like she was just melting slowly into it.
She's like, have you ever seen that movie, The Omen? There were multiple voices and her face was shifting. They were like, you are the chosen one.
she liked to serve other people, like she would help the girls wash their clothes and show them
Arsenic?
around and teach. But spiritually, she grew very, very great spiritually.
Grew very great spiritually.
Hang on, ma'am, just 1 second.
Ma'am?
Hang on just 1 second,
That's
Ms.
a
Smith.
strange
State
quote.
any questions.
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you.
I'd like to call Christina Pena.
Now, this is the potential almost girlfriend, and notice she wore her Sunday leggings.
And
So
raise
this
your
is
right
the
hand.
kidney?
Madam Clerk's going to go ahead and swear you in.
Is this the kidney lady?
No, this is her potential girlfriend. So the next two are going to be women that she met in jail that coincidentally got out around the same time. There is some funniness where they're trying to math how long she's been out of the clink, which is hilarious because it's like, but I mean, look, Sarah is very good at love bombing. Most abusers are. And her old project is dead now. So her new project would have been you. And we saw how
Dude.
projects work for Sarah.
That is a good fucking point. Yeah, like
And,
Yeah,
and Sarah
like
thrives on lost people who need a motherly influence.
yeah, that's all she ever talked about. She thought she was helping George, or he didn't have anybody as good as me in his life. Like, yeah, she's gonna be wherever she's going, she's gonna find a new victim. She's gonna find somebody. Unless
Steve,
she ends
I
up just
feel
being
like she's
somebody's
gonna
absolute.
be the victim.
I was going to say, unless she ends up being someone's absolute bitch, for lack of a better term, but she
Yeah.
ends up being beat on and sexually
I
assaulted
think
in
she
there.
will. I
then-
don't know about SA because that would take a strong
Well,
stomach.
well, I did a stream on this on the potential spot that she's going to go, and if she does go to Lowell, dude, that place is just rampant with the most crazy stories and lawsuits of the guards or sexually
Yeah,
assaulting
I just-
people.
I don't. What I see Sarah doing is Sarah trying to be queen bee and thinking she's she's going to say something snotty to the wrong person, and she's either going to learn her lesson or she's going to have to learn the hard way a couple times. I mean, it's
Yeah.
going to be like Shawshank Redemption. I'd like to tell you that the queens didn't beat the ever living shit out of Sarah, but this is Shawshank, not a fairy tale.
Yeah, that's probably what's actually going to end up happening. She needs to walk in first day, punch somebody right in the face, biggest person she finds, but they just attack her.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's going
Sarah,
to be holding someone's pocket.
pretty much.
Is that a thing? Is that a thing in women's prisons? I know it's a men's thing.
Well, she does like to hoard cheese. I can only imagine where she stuffed it. So, ooh. Buyers beware if she's your new wife, okay? Like, I don't know what she's doing with the cheese slices.
But I'm going to run and get a beer real quick, and I'm going to
No
push play
problem.
here real quick. Be right
Okay,
back.
just
It'll be 2 seconds.
Affirm the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Ma'am, if you could state and spell your name for the
I'd
record
be
for
so
us.
embarrassed if you went to court without
CRISTINAPENA.
All right, you may inquire, sir.
How old are you?
31.
And where do you live?
Orlando?
Now, it's my understanding, Ms. Penna, that you were in the county jail with Sarah Boone.
Yes.
How long were y'all in the same cell together?
Yes. I was in there for 4 years, but we were together for 3.
Okay. And I understand ultimately the charges against you were dismissed?
Yeah.
And so you were released on what day?
April 4th this year.
2024?
2023.
2023. So you've been out for a pretty while.
I've been out for like 6 or so months now. Yeah. Since April
Okay.
of this year, actually. Sorry.
April of 2024. And you said y'all were bunkmates there together for about 3 years?
Yeah.
I would assume that y'all got to know each other pretty well.
We did.
Okay. And if you could, if you'd like to speak on her behalf to the judge.
Yes. Sarah's one of my best friends, my only.
Take your time.
Holy God, how bad is your life when Sarah's your only friend?
She's helped me a
Good
lot.
God.
Ma'am, do better. There's Jehovah's Witnesses.
Dude.
Join the Mormon church.
Spiritually and
Become
like
Catholic.
growing and
Hell, start Dungeons and Dragons.
Something.
she's just
She
she
can't
helps
even
everybody.
actually
She's not
articulate what
alcoholic.
she's thinking.
I don't know, spirit.
Just say,
She
"Hi,
helped
my
me
name
a
is
lot,
Owen and I need a
and
friend."
Like the whole time I was gone, has she been trying to get the words? Like she can't even get a full fucking statement out. She's just.
She's beclaimed.
she would come to me. She talked to me all the time and pick me up when I was down, or if I didn't know something. She's good. I don't know. She was a good person to me. She just mistakes happen.
Doesn't sound very convincing.
She always helped. She always helped people. She was always helping everybody in the dorm. She
Mistakes happen?
even like her artwork.
so-
she did.
Of all of Sarah Boone's witnesses, Kidney Lady is the only one that acknowledges the tragedy that happened to George. Every one of
Sarah
the other
doesn't even, and
witnesses-
this lady did. Wow.
Well, so this one calls it a mistake. I think the other one calls it like, an unfortunate happening or what have you. But Kidney Lady was like, I first want to apologize to the family, of George Torres. I can't imagine the pain that you're going through. And then she proceeds to, blame every single person in humanity other than Sarah.
Wow. At least she was smart enough to kind of start out with, thinking of George and the family. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
that says a lot about somebody that they can't even get there mentally. Like,
Well,
I mean, dude, I don't know, man.
let's assume
There's no
that this
empathy.
woman, she seems maybe not too assertive, she seems kind of cowed. You have Sarah, and Sarah is your only friend, and she has convinced you. I mean, she's convinced herself. So she probably couldn't refer to it as a murder or anything like that around Sarah, or it would set Sarah off. And if she's your only friend, you
That's a
don't
good
do
point.
that. You
probably
call it the
seen-
recent.
She probably seen a little bit of that Sarah rage early. Probably if she did have a, like any kind of a disagreement, I'd imagine.
According to her prison records, her and Pena, so the woman that's talking, got into it quite a bit in the beginning. So I'm surprised she's here to talk about her or talk for her. I'd talk about her.
Interesting. Yeah.
Judge
Yeah.
Kraynick would be like, "Are you here to do anything but insult her?" Not really.
Nah, I thought that would be a good opportunity. I do apologize for lying to get here, but
much.
it was worth it.
And I figured I'd be the voice of the public.
I've got a list. I've got a lot of people here. She just pulls out this giant list. It just rolls across the floor.
I know. I was like, look, as a money grubbing grifter YouTuber who has, conned the shit out of people with this trial, I felt it was only right that everyone who super chatted me an insult got to speak. And it's just like a CVS, receipt, just 900 miles.
Yeah. Rolls all the way to the judge.
Yeah.
She's
From so-and-so, you're a horrible cunt and I hope you die.
dude. I would listen to all
If
that.
anybody needed any help
I
or
would
needed anything, they'd come to her and she'd help. She'd help them, and even if they, did wrong to her, she would still go back and help them and
She
praise
didn't have
with
a
them
suitcase.
and pray over them and everything. It's just
And was she a little bit older than you?
yeah.
How much older was she?
Owens, what a dumbass. Sarah's going to beat you
Did
for
you
that.
did you think of her as maybe an aunt or a big sister?
I
What
am
was
young.
sister,
I'm
yeah,
the
she's
youngest honor roller ever.
like a big sister, like a sister I never had. Because I have brothers, so I never, we clicked right away. I don't know. We'd be walking out in the backyard and she just.
Yo, Donna, just real quick, so I'll just randomly check the email. $10 through the Cash App, and she said for Gypsy, and I really appreciate that, and Gypsy really appreciates that. Thank you, Donna, so much. I'll get you on the wheel for the next giveaway. Thank you.
would always try and talk to me, but I'm a quiet person and I don't trust a lot of people. So for me to open up and trust somebody, it's a lot. So.
And obviously y'all are there under difficult circumstances, and she assists you in getting through that.
Yes, and she helped me a lot with my my case, and I would help her with with hers too. We're both.
She's like, I'm basically a lawyer now. I got this. I can help you out.
You know, Sarah was like, all you need to do is write to the judge. It gets me everything.
She's like, and if you don't feel like you can, I will do it for you.
I got you, Boone.
I enjoy writing. Dude.
Justice is not what it is. I don't know how.
Bless you.
We both helped each other out. I don't know. It's just...
Ms. Vignon, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any questions, State?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you.
Ms. Hill?
This would be another inmate.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth?
My name is Mariela Hill, Mariela, last name Hill, Hill.
Thank you. You may proceed, sir.
Does Sarah just
So
like
briefly tell us-
Latin people? Sarah has a type, which is odd because her ex-husband looks like Donald Trump. I don't know if it's the hair piece or what's going on up here.
Oh, Brian?
But yes. But
yeah. Yeah, like
So-
she went completely drastically different after a white Brian, right? She's like, you know what? I need a little flavor here.
you know, which, hey, if it floats your boat, it floats your boat.
Hey, no judgment there, Sarah.
A little bit about yourself.
I met Sarah in jail. I
Girlfriend, too.
spent 3 months
She's
in
racking
jail.
them up, I reckon.
And,
I know, but they're
went
kind of
through a lot
attractive.
unfortunate
Like Sarah's a
circumstances.
2 on a good day.
Now, this
Dude,
was in
yeah,
Orange County
like-
Jail here in Orlando.
Orange County Jail.
And
correct.
when would that have been? Do you recall the dates?
Yes, it was April, from April to June of this year.
Of this year,
2024.
2024.
correct. Yes.
And did you develop a relationship with Sarah Boone over the course of that 3 months?
Yes, yes. We met when I was moved to the B dorm, and
Taryn.
I needed help with a form that I needed to complete, and one of the COs comes.
Oh, I'm not. So I keep looking at my chat box because I'm not used to chat being up here. Because, you know, you use the fancy system. I still use StreamYard, you know, streaming for dummies.
Yeah, no, we've talked about that. Like, I'm lucky to have got my brother.
Hey,
I
that
call
is
him
awesome.
His name's Dan. I call him Only Dan's because if I didn't have Only Dan's, then I wouldn't be functioning currently on the internet. Like I got
feel
basic
you.
stuff. I'm good at editing and I'm good at like the graphic stuff. I do all that stuff, but like all the tech behind the scenes, dude, that's like I've literally, which I will admit, like he's because of him teaching me, I'm pretty good at it now. But like at the beginning of some of the old streams, I would literally be live. Something would be off, my mic, something would be fucked up, and I'd be calling him, like, literally still live. And I'd be like, dude, what? And he would fix it through the phone. Like, he could guide me.
It was so funny because people have asked, so what do you do to edit your video? And I've only started just now editing. I was like, I just restart it and start talking again. I don't know.
That's really all you need to do, right? Like,
I was
unless
like,
you're
what
going to
is
get like
this
crazy
editing
in depth
you
on stuff.
speak of? I've heard people talk about it.
Yeah, man, I do. Like, I've been editing for like 4 years now, so like I've just been like, I feel like within the last year I've started to actually figure it out. You know how that kind of goes. You start to feel it.
Oh, yeah.
So like, so here recently I've been kind of feeling it, but.
Oh, see, I'm just hoping that if I take my big red Ford Transit 10 passenger, you know, breeder mobile to the high school and put out like at video AV club, you know, if you will work for Hot Pockets, I will buy you name brand Hot Pockets. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just afraid I'll get on a list. Like, man, you cannot come here trolling for teenager. Look, I'm not a teacher. I don't want to do anything gross. I just need help editing.
I just need a little bit of help. I need a couple of tips. Yeah, man, my thing is YouTube videos, like, and I mean, it's taken literally years to get so much stuff crammed in my brain, and I still have to sometimes look at, you know, I'll Google something here and there if I run into an issue or something. But yeah, YouTube videos have literally taught me how to edit, like, from
I
nothing.
learned about my mic because apparently these circles on the back of it mean something.
Oh, okay. And you did that through like a YouTube video?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Then it started talking about math, and I was like, "Look, you done lost me."
I just need to know how to fix it, and I'm good. Like, I don't need the technical jargon.
Yeah,
with
or
it.
like hertz and gigahertz, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, man. And the main thing is like having a good camera and a good mic. That's really all you need. Like,
Oh yeah,
all that editing and stuff that can come later or not. But like where you're doing lives, and the majority of stuff I even do is just lives. Dude, as long as people can see and hear you, dude, that's all it really needs. Like,
yeah.
To help me out. And since that moment, we became really good friends. And she was so helpful, so kind, so respectful and loving, not just to me, but to everyone. And I have nothing but good things to say about her, her character, her loving heart, and how deep her faith is. Her faith in God and believing in justice for everyone. So that's what I believe.
State, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hill. I appreciate it.
welcome in here. Hope you're having a good night.
Ms. Albert, good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay, so both of those people basically did nothing. They said nothing. She's very helpful. She helped me a lot. She was so respectful. She was so, like, they didn't give really any kind of actual testimony between, like, for a character witness. Like, you would want them to give, like, some depth about why she's good, what she helped you with. Like,
She's a
it's
very
just
surface person, and she didn't pick eloquent people. So I will say Kidney Lady is about the most eloquent of her witnesses.
Is that what we got
But
next?
I think so. And it's so funny because she is loud as balls. Like I said, she has the voice of a young, feminine Gary Busey. It is, because I was like, is that the
I saw somebody in the chat
GameStop
say
man?
that they thought that was a man, maybe. So
We did, because we were like, did they say Lana or Larry?
let's get in here. Looks like old Owens is saying some shit. Skip through that.
Well, I think he might be. They tried. Is that her?
Is this the?
No, I
Also,
thought that-
is it a video call?
Yeah, but I thought it was. That looks like the sister. Oh, I remember. So the daughter wasn't able to get on the Zoom thing, so the daughter speaks a little bit, but it is kind of hard to understand because she
Okay.
does kind of move.
Let me move around that one. Okay, is this blonde lady?
I thought that I can't remember if Kidney Lady is after Penny Problem Glasses from HR, or if she's before, but she basically just says that Sarah had a terrible childhood. The excuses she uses, I'll give you Cliff Notes. Sarah's younger brother was born about 18 months after her, so she never really bonded with her mother, which set her up for poor parental boundaries. Her dad, she was closer to her dad, but apparently her dad wasn't what anyone would call, even a Dan Connors. So
This is the
when he
greatest
died-
father of all time from television.
hell yeah. But so when her father died, she fell into substance abuse. Now, this is the first that we've heard of Sarah being on any substance but alcohol. Then she goes on to, in her marriage with Brian, she took on a parental role. And apparently that continued, but she's still a victim, and she tried to parent George, and everything is the fault of battered spouse syndrome. You've missed nothing much more.
Okay, I think I've heard that before. So yeah, let's move on.
Oh,
here
and
just a little
apparently
bit.
she was Baker acted once, which I found hilarious
What
because
does
I'm
that
surprised
mean?
she wasn't. Baker acted, I think that was one of the times maybe she was so drunk, the cops basically, okay, we must have missed Kidney Lady.
Oh
Maybe
shit!
she
Did I
was
skip
before-
her? I don't want to miss Kidney
well,
Lady.
maybe she was before Penny Problem Glasses, because I think it does look like he's just talking.
Okay, so here was the last
Ew.
one.
Yeah, maybe it's here.
Oh shit! Hold on. Yeah, let's.
You either select
Give me 1 second.
Oh, this is hilarious because she can't figure it out. She's got an iPhone, but she's never done a Zoom call on it.
Okay.
So she.
Yeah, it's saying default camera. It's saying front camera. I chose it. It didn't show my face or anything like that.
limited. State?
I have no objection to the witness making their statement here telephonically.
Okay, appreciate it. All right, Miss Albert, good afternoon. If you could just state and spell your name for the record for us, please.
Certainly. Lana, Lana, Albert,
Turn down your
Albert.
volume if you got earbuds
Okay.
in.
All right,
It's too
Mr. Owens
loud.
is going to ask you some questions. And if you could just answer them, ma'am, I would greatly appreciate it. Sir, you can proceed.
Miss Albert, do you have the ability to turn your volume down?
Yes, I just did. I can't hear you very well when I do that, though.
We can hear you out front, actually.
We can hear you in Canada.
Where most courtroom or courthouses, you have to go at the very beginning through a screen. You know what I mean, like a metal detector with a cop. They can hear you all the way up there.
Absolutely.
You can't hear me?
She's a trip. No one wants to hear
I can hear you, but very, very quietly.
How about now?
Yes, I can hear you. Am I okay?
Can you hear me now?
You sound a lot better.
Christ's
You were
sake.
too loud earlier.
Okay.
Jay,
Can
welcome
you
in
hear
here,
me
dude.
okay?
I can hear you.
All right, Miss Albert, tell the court a little
That is
bit
a
about
bass
yourself
singer.
briefly.
That is a baritone right there.
Well, I live in Minnesota. I currently have end-stage renal disease. Before I became disabled, I was a business owner in the Twin Cities here.
All right, and how old are you?
I am 50 years old.
All right, and you're considered disabled?
Yes, I am.
All right.
You just said that.
And have you had an occasion since this event to establish a relationship with Sarah Boone?
Yes, I have. We have been friends for the past
You're already
a little over
kidney
11 months.
failure. Why would you befriend Sarah Boone?
And how do y'all communicate?
The fact that she has 3 friends, quote unquote friends.
We've communicated a lot of phone calls, lots of tablet back and forth, and a lot of letters as well. I'd say many, many, many hours of time spent with each other.
All right, and do you want to
God, are
speak
you a
on her behalf here
masochist?
today?
I would, please.
All right, would you please tell the court what you would like for the court to know?
Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Your Honor, for the privilege of speaking on behalf of my friend Sarah Boone. I also want to extend my heartfelt condolences to everyone here affected by this terrible tragedy, which has
only
brought us
one.
all here
That
and
is
listening
good.
in. Many, many articles and videos and opinions of Sarah have gone out in the airways and on the webs. Opinions that
Thank
have
you
been
for
formed
staying
and
here.
commented on so much that it's hard not to give into the temptation to treat people like a comic book or a fictional character. In the case of my friend Sarah,
She's
the
worse
words
than fiction.
narcissist,
She's real.
Karen,
Yeah, this ain't no comic book villain. This isn't no fake story that we're reading.
villain, many other things, they roll off the tongue with little regard to the humanity that is dismissed so flippantly. And
I agree. Though.
under a
Point
lot
on
of
a doll
circumstances, I
where
was one of those.
humanity in Sarah is. Show me on one of the bad touch dolls where Sarah's humanity is.
Yeah, like you said earlier, I think these people have been hoodwinked. I think that they've had the wool pulled over their eyes because, for whatever reason you get, everybody's different, man, and whatever reason you may get into a quote unquote relationship, whether it's a friendship or something more with somebody, people do it for different reasons, and for whatever reasons, these people are able. I'm talking about all 3 of them, but this one seems the most intelligent, the way they're actually kind of condoning themselves in the court. But for whatever reason that these folks considered Sarah Boone to be reliable, a friend, it's
Well,
I can't
I'm sure
judge
George
that,
thought
but
she was a friend at first. Again, she's picking out very vulnerable people. This
Exactly.
woman
Yeah. That's where I was actually
probably
trying to get to.
out of her house.
Yeah.
She's probably very isolated, and Sarah showed her attention and time. And Sarah is good. Predators like this, and Sarah was definitely a predator. Find weak people. Find people that have that something cracked or something broken.
this
in
person
them.
is disabled. This person probably
Yes.
isn't even able to go out and find friends, and they said that they corresponds with letters and tablets, right?
Yeah.
And Sarah's in the similar position, not being, she's stuck, she's gonna, let that out on somebody.
Well, and Sarah probably started out, tell me all about you. I want to know everything about you. I want to learn all about you. You're a great friend. And this woman gave her the ammunition by which she will be later destroyed if she pisses Sarah off. That's the problem with these people. That's why, again, if you've been in a relationship with Sarah, you saw this like from yesterday. So it is, if you've never had an experience with a person like this, it's very easy to understand how you could think, look, you don't know the real Sarah. She's not, abrasive with me. And I always say, not yet. So again, she needs people to do stuff for her. She is, in my, armchair psychologist opinion, a sociopath who only sees people. And the most telling thing about Sarah to me, the one thing that stuck out, and it was really weird in this trial, when she was on the stand and she was talking about selling the marital home, when Owens asked, so no one lives, or who lives there anymore, or, in the house? Is it occupied? And she's like, no one lives there. Now, obviously the house sold, obviously new occupants went in, but it is no longer Sarah's property or business. It doesn't matter anymore. Those people don't mean anything. So that's kind of, I expect my degree from DeVry at any moment.
And I bet you these three individuals that we've heard, I may be wrong. I mean, I don't know what the relationship is, but I bet that they still continue to be friends. I bet she probably doesn't even, Sarah Boone's not an idiot. She's probably thinking about this exact moment. And she's like, I have to have somebody on my side. And she's rounded up 3 folks.
You say that. Wait till she starts speaking on her own behalf. Because I don't know that any thinking
That's true.
happened.
It is hard to say that, right? Because obviously, I even said that in somebody's chat earlier. And I'll say it again, she's not an idiot, and she's pretty well spoken, but at the same time, she doesn't have I don't know, man. She's missing some variable in her brain. Yeah, perspective. Yeah, she can't see, from anybody else's perspective either. She's only stuck in her woe me at all fucking times. And anybody that's a normal person with empathy that actually feels emotions towards other people and something way fucking less than murder, wronging somebody slightly. You feel that later.
Forgetting your son to the point that your ex-husband has to call you at the crack of noon when you wake up every day to see if you're going to pick him up.
Yeah, dude.
If I forgot my kids, I feel terrible because I can't do as much as I used to. And, they have to wash their own dishes. Okay, sometimes I get mad and I'm like, if I see one more damn dish, I turn into Samuel L. Jackson mom. But it's those kind of things. It's cheating on her husband. And then expecting him to just take her back. Again, what kind of ex-husband? Brian needed to put up some big old boundaries, and I hope he does. Because she would just run in there. Every time something got hard, he was her, touch base, home base. And she just uses everyone.
Dude,
she's a gross human being. And like I said, God, could we have an asshole rapture?
Take all of the assholes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, God, think about it. You promised no more floods. An asshole rapture would be awesome.
And you mentioned Samuel L. Jackson. I've got a soundbite for that perfectly, and for Sarah Boone.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
People,
oh my God.
As I have a love
I would
true
just go
crime
in with a talk boy and play that because I can understand how to do a talk boy.
Yeah. Talk boys rule.
Becoming friends with
I
Sarah
had a talk girl. And I was like,
has shown me that there's a lot more depth to the people I see on the screen. I'd like to share with the world and with the court about the Sarah Boone that I know. Sarah Boone is a kind, honest, and good person. The Sarah Boone I know is one who loves
why does she
animals,
have to use her last name
especially the
after
kind
this?
who are damn.
We're going to forget which Sarah.
That's a good point.
Okay, 84 Sarahs, because Owens does it too.
Make it way more personable.
Sarah Boone.
It would be way more personal to say Sarah.
Yeah.
You're saying her entire name. That is weird.
Owens does it too. It's just weird. I'm like,
Sh-
sir,
She is
Sarah
just
Boone of the Lego hair. We know who, we know
she
the heifer
is
you are
Sarah Boone
speaking
to
of.
us. It's one word now. Like,
damaged and defenseless.
don't go full Sarah Boone ever in a trial. Like, somehow she's
No.
like, I still think that Daryl Brooks outperforms her with just being a worse person, but it's fucking hard. It's like they would be like in there having a good old match. Like, they're just
Sarah
sparring.
wins, and I never thought I'd say that, but Sarah wins.
Dude,
She is the mega thunder cunt of America.
They're
There you go, Sarah. You finally won something again.
They're the true, they're America's couple. Let's just go there. Let's just
Oh my
those
God.
two.
If they bred, it would be their child would be a nexus of evil. Damien, it would be like just terrible.
How many of us would take in and pour love for a hearing impaired and a sight impaired pair of dogs? She has a natural
She
instinct
just
to
put her
help reach out
boyfriend
and
in a
give of
suitcase,
herself.
but she had crippled
time-
animals.
Dude. Yeah, they always said that it was a blind dog, a deaf
And a deaf
dog.
dog.
They had to make sure that
And energy
she's
and
taking
love,
care of some
especially to
disabled
those who are
dogs.
hurting or damaged. You all have seen her fight for her own life and truth here. I tell you
The
this.
truth is not
She
a thing.
fights even harder for those she loves, giving time, attention, and companionship without a single thought
She did fight
for her
George.
own gain or what somebody can do for her.
I don't know what the hell we're even talking about, but I love Sam Kinison.
And one huge example is in the matter of our friendship.
Okay, sister
As I
with
said-
the great butt is trying. She's
Bro, look at her
holding back.
face.
Oh my God! When Sarah Boone starts her soliloquy of "Woe me," oh my God! Like, you see her jaw working, and I am so willing. Like, this is why reason number 11D12 billion. I would not be a bailiff, because I'd mosey on over if she went to go get Sarah. I'd be like, I'm union. I'm gonna give it a minute.
You know what? We just need to let his sister alone for 5 minutes in a room with Sarah, and I
I'd
think
be
we'll all be
terrified.
pleased.
If his sister, if I was in a room with his sister and she was looking at me like that, I'd be like, I don't even know what I did. I am so sorry. Let me.
She
go
looks
get you
intense,
some
dude.
Chocolate.
Yeah, like she is seeing complete red right now. Oh yeah, look at this.
she is.
This chick's looking at her. She's like, oh fuck.
She's like, oh shit. That's why she needed to have some earrings and just start. Okay,
Dude.
all right. Like, I have seen this on Maury. I'm taking off my scarf. We
For
are
I've
going
stage
down.
About to throw the fuck down.
renal disease caused by a genetic illness
And
called
the-
polycystic
Oh,
kidney
okay.
disease.
You know what? Actually, that I think that is a Sam Kinison type voice. Actually, now that
You
I'm
know,
kind of, I can kind of hear that.
Ma'am, I
Actually.
understand that you're in end-stage renal failure, but if you go on YouTube and just do Sam Kinison impressions, you will have friends.
You'd be doing good. You won't need fucking Sarah Boone. That's for sure.
No.
Yeah, get on TikTok. Oh my god.
As my life has progressed, things I've taken for granted have been taken away from me. I could not appear in court in person because I can no longer walk, as my dialysis treatments have affected the circulation of my legs and has confined me to a wheelchair. To say that my life has radically changed is an understatement. Through it all, I have many friends and family I love and cherish. Sarah has distinguished herself differently in this way. In the course of getting to know her, I started sharing the progressing state of my health. It was like lightning had struck her. The moment Sarah had learned the depth of my struggles
I wish
health-wise,
lightning has struck
she
her.
straight up offered strenuously to donate a kidney to me. I got to tell you this. I hope she's
Because she
not
couldn't
mad for
donate a soul or a heart.
me showing this, but
Also,
she had no
that kidney's
hesitation,
been
no
rode
concern
rough
over
and put
personal
away
risk.
wet. I don't know if you want that one.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, well, I was kind of talking about that before. Like, you're gonna like start decaying instantly. Like your body, you think you're sick now. Like,
'Cause you get that Sarah, and you're just like,
jeez.
Personal
you're gonna
gain.
look at
I
suitcases
want to convey to
different. I mean, it's gonna be weird.
I don't remember what it is. I don't know if it's Tales from the Crypt or what it is. Twilight Zone, but there's an old like episode of one of those types of shows that did episodic stuff, and somebody gets like somebody's eyes, you know, something like
yeah.
that, and like they then start to see visions of like how they die, something like that. But that's what's going to happen, except it's going to be you feeling all of these horrible, true Sarah Boone emotions that she
You
actually doesn't
go-
show us.
you go Twilight Zone, I go Simpsons when Homer got the hair of
Oh,
the
yeah.
guy that's always robbing a poo, and then he starts doing crimes.
Dude, like, yeah, that would not be good. You would, yeah, we would be able to make a film afterwards. Let's just say that, because it would be, chaos would ensue.
Now I kind of want to try it just for giggles, but that's because I'm a
This
horrible
out-
person.
So, and I keep seeing people say that in the chat. So, like, so Sarah Boone can't actually give a kidney if you're a prisoner? Is that what's up? Like, is that a thing? Or maybe she knew that and that's why she's offering a kidney?
I don't know. I just think that she wouldn't qualify medically. I think she knew. Again, it's one of those false promises, like, I'll give you a kidney. And again, Sarah's not smart, but she's cunning. And she knows people's weaknesses. And
Right.
I
She
bet
never really had
Anna-
any kind of, she wasn't really
Yeah.
wanting to give up a kidney. She just knew that that would make this person feel, or, you know, maybe become a
Yeah.
little bit more attached to her. Yeah. Yeah, dude. She's a full-fledged manipulating bitch at all times, it seems like.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't stop. And I think that even from all the footage and all the videos that we've seen of her own documentation, dude, like, one of the worst ones, and maybe not, well, obviously not the worst one, because one of them is her murdering George, but one of the worst ones is that one where she's filming George on the stoop and telling him what he's going to tell the cops, and, like,
She's an angel.
bro,
She's
that
an angel. Say
is
angel.
so fucking evil and dark.
Of death.
Like, it's crazy.
And the fact she records. So here's the lack of perspective she has. She sees everything through a filter of, I am the victim and I am righting the world, and, you know, I am going to avenge all the things done to me, and I am perfect. And I honestly think so. I think it is impossible for her to show remorse. I think
do too
that
now.
I think the schism between how she sees herself and reality, I think it would break her. I think she'd have a full-on breakdown, because it's been such a paradigm in her life. And maybe prison will save her. Maybe, you know, actually this hard, you know, wake-up call, and maybe getting humbled, Gen Pop justice, just a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Send pictures, other inmates, I'm just saying.
You know what happens a lot of times with these folks when they get in there? They turn to religion. So, like, she's probably going to go the Christian route, you know, start being a bit of a Bible thumper in there, I would imagine. And
Yeah.
in her own head, that's still a manipulative thing to herself, though. Like, she's, because, like, she now has to, like, rationalize why I'm here and what's really going on. And right now I'm an innocent person. Woe
She'll
me.
explain to you exactly why she's here. It's
But I do think that she's going to eventually probably find God, right? And then that's going to be her answer for forgiveness. God is going to forgive me. I've forgiven myself, but, like, she's going to need that extra little bit, and I bet she probably ends up finding God.
well,
And,
that's my favorite saying, you know, Jesus loves you, everyone else thinks you're a cunt.
you know what? Yeah,
I mean-
even Jesus and God at that point is going to, I mean,
Jesus is like, look, I don't want to be included.
bit
Jesus is like,
hard.
keep my name out your mouth.
and she picks up a
Will
Bible
Smith.
and her hands just start burning. Pages start going up in smoke.
Out and around the world that is merely offering is a good and heroic act. I've had many friends. I've not had one outside of my brother who has offered me a kidney. That is huge.
Also,
I don't have
think
anything
she
of
would
equal
be
value
eligible
to-
for a kidney at end stage. With her circulation, it sounds like her circulation's not great. I don't know that she'd be eligible for a donation right now.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point too.
it's still an empty gesture.
Jules, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the
Thank you
hard
so
work
much.
that you do,
Yes,
man.
and thank you. I mean, you not feeling well, going through something,
Oh.
you know, incredibly difficult, and then still bringing this to us. And, you know, if you ever get a chance to meet George's family or say anything to them, I hope that they realize that there are so many people that are glad that George got justice, that saw the truth, that didn't believe Sarah. And I hope that gives them a little bit of comfort. I know it won't bring George back, but it's shown a light on the fact that men can be victims just as well as women. And, you know, how manipulative and gross she was. So take comfort that we all see the Sarah that you saw, and we get it.
Absolutely. Yeah, Jules, thank you so much. Like, crazy coverage. Yeah, if you don't follow Jules on X, make sure you're doing so.
Yes.
Yeah, she's incredible. Hold on, I'll play this a little bit further, but I think I can get her real quick. Hold on.
You give to
I'll
her.
put it in the chat.
And that's
Also, while I'm
not
thinking
the
about
actions of a
all those stuff
narcissist.
too.
She did it as a reflex action, as a good person.
Here is Jules. Follow her, everybody.
After the verdict came in October, we spoke that night. And I hope Sarah doesn't get mad at me again for disclosing this, but out of all
Sarah
the
mad at
shock
you.
and seriousness of what had happened in the court, the thing that made her emotionally break was that she realized she could no longer be a donor to me.
That's where we got confused. They show. Oh shit.
The sister.
They show
or
her
the
for a
daughter.
minute. Yeah. As I was kind of scrolling through, it was just the voice
Yeah,
of this
because
person.
I think they squeeze her in somewhere because it was pretty short, but she was having a hard time getting on Zoom. And
Okay.
so I think they were kind enough to let her go during the defense, I believe.
I mean, I was sitting there like, hey, it's going to be okay. But she was so broken up, she couldn't help me. That's a friend.
And now all of Mo's stuff is down in the description also. So make sure you're following
Thank
her
you
on
so
YouTube
much.
and on X.
She is not, nor does she come up anywhere remotely close to being a narcissist.
Do you have
One more
glaucoma
thing
as
before I
well?
go. Social media has worked to rip the blindfold off of Lady Justice, to take the sword out of
You're
her right
welcome.
hand and start assassinating Sarah's character. However, the scales are the balance. As it says in Psalm 85, mercy and truth are met together. Righteousness and peace have kissed each other. Justice isn't justice without mercy. Our pursuit of righteousness isn't complete and right without
Reject
peace.
your poem.
Thank you, Your Honor,
Redemption
for
must
the
be
honor
sought.
of speaking for my
Atonement
friend.
must be achieved before mercy is given you. Look, yes,
You have to show some kind of fucking remorse. Like, you
Yeah,
can't just be full Sarah Boone, dude. Like,
no, never go full Sarah Boone. Never go full Boone. Now, Boone's Farm, on the other hand.
dude. Oh my god. I
Hey,
hate
Sarah
that.
Boone.
Anything but
I
Mad
hope
Dog
that your
2020.
justice is mixed with mercy here today. Thank you.
State, any questions? No, Your Honor. Any follow-up, Mr. Owens?
No, Judge.
All right. Thank you, Miss Albert. I appreciate you.
I think
Like to
unless
call
you want
Dr.
to hear
Harper?
Penny Problem Glasses, she just annoyed the shit out of me, and you're going to be annoyed at Sarah. So
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah, okay, we got Sarah here. And I already know. I remember this lady from the trial, so I already kind of know what she's going to say.
Yeah, I so dislike therapists like this. Not everything is what your specialty is. Just because Sarah says something and she, fits your idea of a female victim, she isn't. And the fact that she's so snowed an expert, I'm like, ma'am,
That is
have
wild.
some discernment. Just because she fits your narrative, just because she proves your point, doesn't mean that she's actually who she says she is. And just because she, read Terrifying Love, oh my God. Let's just get into this because
Okay. Dude, okay. Here we go, guys.
strap on in, people.
You can be
and
seated.
pay
You've been
your
previously
swear
sworn.
jar.
Whew.
Now, this is her
You may
short,
question.
edited 45-minute speech.
Got the T-Rex arms rocking.
It was the only thing that kept me going.
Sarah Boone.
Now, this is unlike a trial, so you're allowed to speak in a narrative form
What is that smirk?
as well as
Sheila?
on.
She's already,
you
like,
have taken some notes. or
pissing me
written
off.
A letter that you want to read from, and
Do you
then
have
you want to
facial
speak.
Tourette's,
to the
ma'am?
court.
What is
going
happening?
on?
Yes.
She
She
still
wanted
does
to-
the rapid blinking.
She wanted to give
I've
us a
watched-
people's eyebrow.
So I will say that I rarely watch the behavior panel because it always annoys me. It's always like turtling and this but her blink rate, they said something about her blink rate and it is just insanely high. So I don't know if she believes what she's saying or she's just always been a soulless bitch, but I think that's how her soul escapes, through blinking.
I do remember in the trial it was a rapid fire blinking though. Like, I think I was trying to like attest that to a little bit of like, and this was just me, and probably other people. Maybe I even took it from somebody, but kind of gauging if she's lying at that moment with her, you know, the rapidness of her blinking, possibly.
Look, Sarah, if you
little
have
trigger.
resting cahooned face, maybe have a nice personality.
Yeah, you gotta have something working for you because you got nothing. You got a whole lot of nothing.
No.
Not now.
This is actually an edited version of.
Oh, fuck. Why would you start out like that?
She fucking edited this. I want to remind you.
That doesn't
I
even...
want to remind you. As she speaks, these are
I had a
things
lot
that
to
she
say.
double thought out.
I've had a lot of time to think about things, and I didn't really know how to put it on paper, and I didn't know how much I could say or how little I should say. So what I have here is, like I said, an edited version. But I would like to read the more important parts that I feel that everyone should know that wasn't said in my actual trial.
All right.
And on top of what I have on paper, I have, this is just the tip of the tip of the tip of the iceberg. So I wanted to read this, and then if I may, I would like to address everyone in my apology on top of my statement.
Bitch. Rick James Chappelle Show.
You may proceed, ma'am.
Kintsugi is a kind of Japanese ceramic style which means to repair with gold. In this tradition, when a ceramic piece breaks, an artisan will fuse the pieces back together again using liquid gold or gold dust lacquer. So rather than being covered up, the breaks become more obvious and a brilliant new piece of art emerges from the brokenness. It embraces flaws, weakness, and imperfections, and also teaches the essence of resilience. Every crack in a ceramic piece is a part of its history, and each piece becomes more beautiful because it has been broken. This is the wisdom of kintsugi. In my wisdom, and with all of my repairs, then, now, and ongoing, God is, has been, and will always be my artisan. All of my gold is forgiveness. This has held me together, made me shine brighter, and overcome the damage caused by Jorge Torres, the Torres family, the justice system, Orange County Corrections Department, social media, scoundrel detectives, infamy, defamation, ongoing constitutional rights violations, second-degree murder, forced into being pro se. Just as gold is very precious, forgiveness is invaluable.
Well,
Okay,
I didn't expect that beginning. What the fuck was that? That's world's
Here
tiniest
is the world's
violin.
smallest violin.
It plays. That's amazing.
Mr. Mo was like, "You're proud of yourself." I'm like, "This is the best $8 I've ever spent."
Dude, that's a good one.
On
That's,
Amazon.
That's pretty good. That's amazing.
I bought it just for Sarah, but now I use it for
Dude.
my teenagers. They are not amused.
Dude, I don't even know what just happened. That opening was actually madness.
No, it gets so much fucking worse.
Oh my God.
Steve, like you might need 18 beers.
Forgiveness is not an attempt to
This
change
speech
or
feels
forget
like the first time you tried Natty Ice. Okay.
Oh God.
who, what, or how you've lived through to be so gold, but an act of grace, humility, and considerable self-compassion to be set free from sorrow. Withholding forgiveness denies your brilliance and adds even greater grief and deeper heartache, irreparable cracks on top of the already that no one deserves, no matter the pain or disappointment, untruths or injustice. It doesn't matter, as the more broken you are, even though now different than before, you've become more outstanding and more extraordinary. Above all, when you let go of blame, misunderstandings, excuses, give up your anger and cease from resentment, this is forgiven. And when you forgive, you heal. And when you heal, you move forward. My goal begins with
Please
Jorge
move forward
Torres,
off
and
of
every
here.
time He slapped me, kicked, punched, spit on, raped, stabbed, choked, laughed at, pushed, pulled, dragged, whipped, tripped, stole from, lied, terrorized, threatened, humiliated, forced, degraded, made me cry. Every time he tried to end me, defeat,
I want
or
to make
destroy.
you cry now.
I forgive
Put me
George
in,
for
coach.
beating me senseless,
Tag.
for trying to sleep because I had to go to work or my son's field trip the next day.
Ma'am, you
For
have
ruining
not
my
had a
deceased-
gerb in ages. Your only gerb was like what, a receptionist for 3 days. Where the
Yeah,
hell
they were
did
always
you
just
work?
looking for jobs. Like, that was what every day
You woke
was,
up
right?
at the crack of noon every day, drunk AF, like boobs just a flapping in the wind, out in your parking lot, in your little pink, arrest George shorts. Ma'am, shut the hell up and go
Yeah.
straight to jail.
Dude.
East family's
It gets
heirlooms,
so much
traditions, and
worse.
keepsakes, my son's
You're right,
furniture,
Pokeball.
destroying the television we watched together. For wrecking our townhome by breaking windows, punching holes in the walls and doors, ramming his entire body into glass doors, kicking in my front and back door over and over and over. For breaking or removing the locks
Didn't
from
hear
all
any
of the
of that.
doors and sometimes the knobs altogether.
Because there was no
so I had
evidence.
nowhere to feel safe, including the sacred space of my son's room where he beat me bloody on his bed. For terrorizing and threatening my blind and deaf dogs by leaving the gate open I built to keep them safe, telling me he hoped I'd find their bloated dead body in the pond or scrape their remains off of the pavement, for kicking them off of the bed and throwing
Here's where
across
Sarah
the
loses her plot. Every time she's filmed George, every time he was arrested, he was insanely passive.
He was he was
Even when he
wasted,
was
but he
hitting
was fucking
the
nice.
TV. He seemed browbeaten. He seemed defeated. I don't do a whole lot in body language, but he was curled in on himself. He didn't look like he was enthusiastic. He wasn't said like, "Bitch, I can't believe you let Brian over here fix my TV."
And when he is sort of being like, because that one video, he's sort of like, kind of having fun with her, but she's always being a piece of shit to him, and he's like almost trying to like figure it out in real time. So like before she's hit record, I bet things were pretty fucking normal, and then she all of a sudden is recording him, and he's like, "Why are you? What's going on?" Like,
She is insanely mercurial when she's drunk. I mean, even the body cams show this. She goes from flirty to crying to arrest him to "I love you, baby.
Like,
I'll
quick.
be here tomorrow."
you're right.
It is beyond confusing. So imagine you are also hammered. You are probably sleep deprived. It is terrifying to be with someone like that. And here's where she lost me. Here's how I know you're not a victim. She went to sleep. If you are a victim or have known as Sarah, someone that has substance abuse and gets erratic and violent when that happens, you don't go to sleep before them. You don't. You never do. You do it once, and then you never do it again.
Yeah. That's a good point, man. Yeah, she's an absolute piece of shit. Like
Yeah.
there's no redemption. Like there's no way to talk
No.
yourself into it either. Like I've actually tried.
And don't wear my story and a bunch of people's legitimate stories as a skin suit to cover up your predatoriness.
Dude, yeah. Yeah, man, like it's so fucking gross.
She's a cry bully.
Yeah, and any time that those police come, she knew that, we see it time and time again. The one time that the police, and another one, there were so many of those fucking videos, but that one video when the police went in there, and I honestly think that Sarah was hoping that they would fucking kill him, but like they bring him out and sit him on the bed, and dude, there for a moment they're trying to get him to like what's going on, and dude, he can't. He's like a beaten, what we've seen mostly with the opposite, men to women, but he's like a beaten spouse. He won't say a bad word about her. He's afraid to say a bad word, and they're trying to get it out of him.
Terrifying. It's shameful. You don't want to admit
Dude, that's
that
a great
you're
fucking
with,
point. He's a male in the situation, and it is shameful. Like it
he's not
fucking,
a
and it
big
shouldn't
guy.
be, but it fucking sucks. Like.
Well, and he's not a big guy, but even Brian, who is very big, downplayed how she would attack him. Would say like, "Look, she used to call me. I bet he had black eyes. I bet he had things that he had to hide." And it's so shameful, but doubly if you're a man, if you're a shorter man. And look, he's been in the system. He has a record. And she's probably told him time and again, who do you think they're gonna believe, George?
Exactly. Guarantee that's how everything started, right there.
I will tell them of all your convictions, and they're gonna lock you up.
Yeah, and I bet she was also being incredibly racist while she did that, and probably berating him, and I mean, like, absolute trash,
how can
dude.
you be racist and have a Latin fetish? I'm just asking for
Yeah, that's a good point too. That's a great.
That circle doesn't square.
Actually, the people that just come in couldn't have seen the trial because it became apparent that she is an absolute racist the way she talked to the family. So, like, they're just like letting that go, or she's changed, she's different.
What kind of insult is stay Hispanic? Like they were gonna choose not to, just
Dude.
like, but they're like, no,
shitty, yeah.
You're okay, Sarah. We were gonna go Italian, but
Yeah, you know what?
we'll
We're gonna
stay
change that
Hispanic.
up. Just every couple of years, I know.
Irish.
I know usually immigrants every couple of years they'll do something crazy. They'll change it the hell up and start going by Asian or something. What the fuck are we?
Room because they were trying to protect
it's such a
me.
gross thing for someone you love. If you love that person, you don't see. I mean, okay, obviously you see them, you're attracted to them, but that isn't a thing that should ever be in your mind. You should love them, and she is such a gross, disgusting.
Dude, yeah, like,
again, God, asshole, rapture, and then I'm not here tomorrow. Like, guys,
you're on a bus and you're next to Sarah. You're like, whoa, this backfired.
Yeah, I'm like, no, God, I meant.
You know what?
like,
There has to be different asshole
targeted.
levels. No way that your asshole level would be the same as her asshole level. So there's got to be different asshole buses. There's got to be like extreme, and so there's going to be a medium level.
For threatening to make me unrecognizable to my son by breaking all of the bones in my face, like his brother Moses did to him after he kept seeing all of the bruises from
That is
George
some
beating me.
shitty thing right
like all of
there.
the times
You
their
know,
father beat their mother.
if you get every bone broken in your face, that's and knowing her, she's 100% going to document that. That picture, I wasn't in the trial. I do remember the black eye. I mean, but
Yeah.
like.
So this is the grossness. This is the absolute wanting to wound the family. You don't think Moses doesn't feel like a grade A asshole for breaking his brother's face, essentially for believing Sarah? You don't think that doesn't haunt him daily?
Yeah,
and she's like, wound, 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 salt, 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 lemon juice, and
Man.
tequila.
Yeah.
Or lime.
Mother.
I don't drink a
For
whole
all of
lot,
the
guys.
drunken rages
I
and
think it was
fist
lime,
fights
yeah.
with so many neighbors when wandering into their apartments during hunting expeditions after I had escaped. For drowning me in liquor and wine because I didn't want to drink, causing me to urinate on myself, then butting the end of the bottle
Didn't
in my
wanna
face,
drink.
giving me 2 black
I'll
eyes and a
take
bloody
things
nose.
that never happened for 800
For making me
Alex.
experience what
Dude.
it is to be sodomized.
We've all seen
Threatening
those
to kill
videos.
my friends
You
and the
psycho.
neighbors when they checked on me to make sure I was alive and in one piece. For threatening to burn down our townhome and set my car on fire because I got a job. For holding me hostage on weekends my son was supposed to come over by keeping my keys around his neck, my phone in his crotch, and a butcher knife stuck in the middle of the table as a warning not to ask anything or try to leave. For stabbing me in the leg and not
This
letting
is
me
an
call
apology.
911 for an ambulance or seek help,
Dude.
where I nearly bled to death until I concocted a lie to save him from being arrested.
Oh my
For
God, you
destroying
didn't
my
nearly
phone with a
bleed to
hammer
death.
because my son called. For me experiencing ever being arrested and after today, prison. For beating me almost blind, crushing my occipital lobe. For having me experience what it means to see stars, like in the cartoons, where a character has a tall lump on their head. I had that too, and many times. For dragging me downstairs by my hair in the middle of the night just to sit next to him. For taking my car driving drunk with my debit card to buy more alcohol while I slept, even after I kindly explained the importance of my car to take my son to school foremost, me to work, and he to his batterers intervention classes and probation officer meetings, where I would be forced to sit for hours in the parking lot waiting for him.
I thought you were best
For causing
friends
me
with
so
this
much-
parole officer. So she contradicts herself. Her headcanon is about as loyal as Disney Star Wars, The Acolyte.
Yeah, dude. She and I remember her contradicting herself during the trial a few times as well. She can't keep her shit straight. Like,
Okay, here's the other thing. If she's a great mom, it is hard as hell I've done it. I did it. It was terrifying, but you leave that kind of situation if you have kids. Some people do. Some people find the courage. It is not easy.
I couldn't imagine.
But
Yeah.
but you had the means and ability to move. You had $1,000. Yes, you probably would have had to downsize. You, in fact, took George off the lease, which means that you were begging more money from Brian or what have you. But you had options. She's acting like the entire world didn't reach out and help her. The problem is that she went every time he had a case, she would go to the, DA and say, please drop it. She wouldn't cooperate with it. She is such a, and
we
she's
know
going to try to sell a book like Terrifying Love Part Duh, the dumbening.
And yeah, we know how she treated and acted towards Brian, and how, he was kind of beholden to her, and he would give her fundage. So, it's really not even, plausible. What we know that she couldn't have gotten away if she truly was in a situation like this. Dude, you could have gotten away. Like he would have gotten, I'd imagine, like he would have helped you get out of it. He's already given you way too much money, I'm sure.
Well, that and Brian was kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. The state is most likely going to side with the mother, even if there is repeated documentation that she is unfit. Unless he is willing to pay, big bucks to get an attorney, document everything, record her, basically live his entire life trying to build a case against her. And if he would say no to her, I've lived with a Sarah. It's 75 text messages followed by just repeat calling you, and then spoofing another number, calling you with that, texting you with that. He sometimes it's just not worth the hassle.
Dude,
like $50 will make you go away. Fine, fuck it. Like, I'll Venmo you something.
Yeah. Like if I could have some peace today, like that's so sad. Like
Much trauma and pain, mentally, physically, emotionally. I had to be hospitalized more than once. For destroying my reputation and integrity,
Baker
for my
Act, you
M for
bitch.
murderer scarlet letter, not letting me feel safe to
Jesus
live,
Christ
talk
in
to other
heaven. What the? My Scarlet M as a murderess.
Dude.
You filmed it, you bitch.
Dude.
What do you want from me?
That's actually all I've ever said. I'm like, it's fucking on camera. Like everything is there.
He is basically blaming George for dying. Like he done it on purpose just to get her in jail.
How dare you not be able to breathe in this confined space that's zipped completely
I swear
up?
to God, she probably kicked the shit out of him,
Oh,
his
dude,
head.
yeah. That next day, she's just fucking beating the shit out of him.
Like,
dude,
I
yeah.
am going to get in trouble I can't even go get a drink, and it's Lucas's day, and oh my God.
Oh
and
my
I
God,
just
you
need
nailed
a
it.
drink.
Yeah. She's like, you know where I'm supposed to be right now?
people, spend time with my son, have a job, friendships, simply go to the bathroom with the door closed, or go to sleep soundly or comfortably. I forgive George for lying, for him trying in so many ways, so many times, to end me with his terrifying love. I also forgive the Torres family, his mother and father foremost, also his two ex-wives and daughters, all for knowing who George was capable of and has done in the past.
This is where she goes
his history
nuts.
of violence
So
and
you
where he
probably
learned
wanna
it, then to
back
keep
it up
turning a
just
blind
about-
eye when I...
Because this is where she starts bitching out the family. And this is where you will go from regular hatred to, like, can I be involved in doing some of the things she alleged George did?
Dude.
Sequentially and alphabetically. Twice.
I would ask for help. All of his siblings, including Farrell Torres, who is now on his way to prison for stabbing the mother of their baby in the side of her head. For everyone who knew what George was doing to me, sometimes how and when, but allowed and enabled. I forgive them for caring too late. I hope they all ask themselves while quiet and comfortable in bed at night the uneasy question, what could I have done to stop this from happening to both of them? And after all the times Sarah tried to, by asking for help from all of us and so many times.
I try not to take the Lord's name in vain.
Another great contributor of my gold is social media, with its greed, insensitivity, deception, obvious exploitation, and advantageous gain.
I think, yeah. I'm about to say, I think you
whole.
get up there and you're going to be like, well, this one we're actually going to write off. This one's off the books. This was, I see that Sarah Boone was the reason.
Jesus was watching that stream and he was saying, hell yes. He's never agreed more. It was kind of strange.
It was very
He
strange.
doesn't like snark. But look, the Sarah mold was broken, and we discontinued that model. I'm so sorry. Like, here's a voucher. Have fun.
Can you imagine? Yeah, you've killed, this family member, the son, the brother, the fucking father, and now you're like, you know what? You know what I need to do? I need to get a couple more.
I need to tell them about themselves.
A couple more jabs on the mom. Bam! I need a couple jabs on the brother. Bam! Like, what the fuck?
This is the worst part, but this is the part where you go from regular hate to like, I would like to be involved in the execution. and they're like, ma'am, she got life. And I'm like, that's not what I heard.
After this,
popular vote.
Judge Kraynick, after this though, he's like, you know what? I don't even know if this is legal. Chair. We're going electric chair.
This, again, reason number 1,011,013 that I am not a judge, because I'd be like, because I would tell Sarah, I'd go full, I was like, I walked in here thinking maybe I would do a downward departure, but I wanted to hear from you. And now I've chosen the electric chair on live TV.
Just let it drop. Yeah. Yeah.
And everyone gets to shock you. It starts out low, and then we get to the coup de grace, depending on, super
I like
chats.
that.
I'm telling you, we will fix the deficit, y'all.
And for sentencing me by anticipation as a result of ignorance and hate, conjured and fabricated by the organized crime that is social media, which condemned me in the court of global public opinion since the beginning. My family law case is the new prey waiting to be picked apart and pillaged from me being made infamous by social media in my criminal case. It simply seems I cannot forgive and be forgiven and move forward. Social media has made me a pariah. It has caused great oppression and undeniable disadvantages, especially by broadcasting and manipulating my cases online. In my criminal case, as a result, my opportunities to be given a fair, proper, and uninfluenced, successful conclusion was heavily depleted and poisoned. I forgive them. Also, all of the media tycoons for not having a life of their own, trying so desperately to make themselves seem so right by making me appear so wrong. Forgiveness for prejudgment, ridiculous theatrics, lies,
like the tycoon would be in this
maybe
scenario.
She did see one of my wig videos.
But like a tycoon would be like Ted Turner. Like, why would you say that? Like, that doesn't even make sense.
Like, not even Geraldo Rivera is asking about you, okay?
Yeah,
and
like
shirtless pictures on Instagram. Stop, Geraldo. Just stop.
Dude,
and taking blood money from my and others' misfortunes, accidents, and catastrophes.
I'm still waiting for
it's
my
all over their
millions,
hands
Sarah.
and their keyboards.
I got a little bit of blood money here tonight. Shit, we got a wheel to spin.
Theorized, hypothesized, scrutinized, and blasphemed in my case.
You are
Still
not Jesus. No one blasphemes against you, you Cuntosaurus.
In the end, I forgive myself for not choosing my life sooner, for not being more brave, vigilant, bolder, and outspoken, stronger, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually.
She's talking about Nickelodeon Arcade right there. She wished that she would have put more effort into it.
My soul is just trying to escape my body, like again. Like, just get those Christmas Little Debbies and stop hurting me with Sarah Boone.
My soul is screaming.
For being hopeless, desperate, simple-minded, weak, and inexperienced. I forgive myself for not realizing I was enduring a life of domestic violence,
life would be different.
and that the vicious cycle of never ends. I had nothing to compare to. I've never been hit by a man ever before in my life. I was raised hitting a woman was wrong and should never happen.
Hit by a
no
bunch
excuse.
Of women. Hope you enjoy
I forgive myself for not escaping
blood,
permanently,
Sarah.
for not fighting back sooner to save myself, my son, my dogs, home, and car. Having 20/20 hindsight, thinking of everything I could have done differently or better to avoid the outcome. I think about this every day since.
I'd imagine.
Also, of all the good days we had together, for him at least, while I was constantly in hyperdrive, high alert, and paranoid, making sure I did everything right all the time. If not, the great possibility I would be ended as George
Everyone's
threatened me
just at
with
home
so many
punching their
times
pillows.
before.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I forgive
I have
myself
not
for
felt
falling in
rage
love
like
with
this
a
since
monster.
the Daryl
and
Brooks.
Dude, that's the only thing I can compare it to, because he's so infuriating.
And she's worse. He didn't go victim by victim and say, and I'm glad and I forgive you for hating you know the person that drove that murderous SUV into you.
Yeah,
now,
like
I don't know who that is.
Yeah,
I represent
You make a good point because, like, at the end of the day, like, I mean, I watched all of that. And I think ultimately the reason I would put Daryl Brooks a little bit ahead of her is just the crimes. But in the actual trial, though, you're right. She, right now, is a way bigger piece of shit than he was in the actual courtroom. Because, fuck, like... and
I
he
need
was
to
a
go
piece of
listen to
shit.
some DMX, like, it's gonna give it to you, and just punch my electric wall punchy thing that I know I look ridiculous. I'm like, Mr. Mo, look at my form. And he's like, what are you trying to do? And I was like, well, by the tone of your voice, I guess just movement at this point.
Dude. Oh my God.
No matter how grotesque he may become, I still loved him, hoped, and forgave. I tried breaking the spell so he wouldn't
call
be
the
a monster
decedent
anymore.
grotesque.
I saw who he was inside.
Miss Jessica's
George
got her
made
gloves
me then,
on.
now, and
Shit.
always love him for all of his cracks also. We made each
Oh,
other our own
right?
brilliant pieces of art from the cracks and repairs.
And we don't even have to imagine. Just
Unfortunately,
She's a
not all
grotesque
cracks can
monster,
be.
but now a beautiful piece
In
of
all
art.
of my forgiveness, George is my greatest lesson and will forever be a
Oh,
part
dude,
of
that
me.
judge in that
I
trial was
think
amazing.
of him
honestly.
every day and still speak to him when alone on the rec yard. I ask his forgiveness and that he looks for me at the gates of heaven so I can tell him how sorry I am, endlessly, and that I never stopped loving him.
Well,
in all of it and still.
I think that
When I
might
first
be
came to jail, I
backwards,
put
but-
my mat under my bed and cried all day and all night for months, only falling asleep from being so exhausted with grief. I wrote him letters. I wrote his family and his daughters, apologizing for asking for their forgiveness. But due to fear that my life or sons would be jeopardized, I did not
Sarah,
send.
you just spent the
I am
last
sorry.
30 minutes calling them
I
a
cannot
piece of
begin to
shit.
fathom.
Yeah, I was about to
That
say,
you
if you did write them, you would start it out by being the worst person, like by saying this essentially, like, oh, I'm sorry that I'm sorry that he fell asleep in the suitcase. Can you forgive me? Like,
You know, for being such a tone policey, HR bitch face, she has never learned the compliment sandwich. Like, George was a beautiful, broken piece of art. Yes, there were parts of him that were monstrous, but I saw those and I was hoping I could fix them. I was hoping love could fix them. But I acted regrettably. Like, you could make some of these statements that she's made. You could, again, but she is so inartful. She is so hell-bent to get every perceived wrong down and on the record, for the record, run the record back, Daryl Brooks. That she cuts off her nose to spite her face.
absolutely. Yeah, that phrase didn't fit somebody as well as her, dude. Yeah, she can't even tell. Like, she's up here in her reality reading this thinking that she's right. How fucking crazy and detached
Kraynick
from
is just
reality do
getting
you have to fucking
closer
be?
and closer to life. He probably started out like,
That's what I'm wondering, dude. I wonder if he was kind of almost going to be like, let's see what happens today. He probably was, dude. He's been fair as fuck. Like,
yeah, and he seemed willing to forgive people their obnoxious behavior, or at
Dude,
least not let it.
he
not
was
let it
honestly
affect us professionally.
a fucking angel to Sarah. Like,
Yes,
dude, he gave her 9 fucking lawyers. Like, it took him so long to finally say fuck it, and then he still helped her. He's still like, I don't know, man.
she
really
does
hate
look
Sarah
like Jeepers Creepers. Maybe she'll go to sleep for another 23 years. We'll just have to watch it. Get Daryl, the seeing eye, like psychic, and Della
Any
Reese.
of their grief and sadness.
Oh my God.
Please forgive me. Almost everything reminds me of
they
him.
cut to
Seeing
the
my stab wound,
sister
especially,
and the daggers.
every day, especially.
Oh,
It
actually, I
truly
kind of would
reminds
like to
me
see
that
some
all
of
I
that.
really did live through.
I think that's when
George
she's sitting
haunts me.
there after
He is
she
everywhere.
gets done with his crap.
I believe because I do still love him, think of him, and miss his laugh the most. In my heart, I know he is with me and understands that this tragedy was not intentional. I hope everyone can, his family foremost. I didn't
Not
mean for
intentional.
this to
We
happen.
got it in.
Please wholeheartedly know that, and always, I would never. Forgive me, George. Forgive
No,
me,
you kinda
Torres
did.
family. Forgive me, Judge Kraynick. To the entire planet, please forgive me.
The planet.
That'll be a
Graciously and
hell
humbly
nah.
ask for
The planet.
consideration, for forgiveness to be extended instead of judgment, for reconciliation and restoration.
I
for
never
all of
wanted,
us.
Okay.
Stone Cold Steve Austin to bust in and stun somebody so bad in my life, to be honest.
Petty Ann would like to say something. Fuck. Okay, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. In the vein of Mary Catherine from SNL when it was still sort of good, I would like to say a quote from my favorite and spiritual guidance movie, Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion. You're an ugly bitch with an ugly heart, and we don't give a flying fuck what you think.
Hold up! Hold up!
Oh man!
Hold up!
That was amazing. I haven't seen that movie in so long, but I remember renting that movie when it came out, actually. And
I had such
dude, it was so
an
funny.
angsty teen girl crush on Janine Garofalo. I wanted to grow up to be her. Or
She was really
Daria.
cool. I still like her, actually. She was cool.
I like her in Team America, World Police, but she doesn't end very well in that movie.
No. Honestly, thinking of her in general, I haven't really seen her in a long time. Maybe I'm just where I don't keep up with a lot of stuff.
She's
but
still alive.
Dude, I hope she's still out here doing. She probably still does comedy. I bet she's probably doing clubs still. A lot of those old folks, like that were on Comedy Central and stuff back in the day, and was in all these cool movies. They still do the road, and you don't really see them as much. But man, she was in everything for a while. Like,
oh yeah,
dude, she was a major part of us growing up. Like. That she was cool.
To move forward. My apology is profuse and ceaseless. Allow me please to brush off the muck, wipe the blood off of my face and fix the cuts in my skin. I ask for understanding in what really happened and for how long. For second chances, repentance and redemption to advocate for all domestic violence survivors, to help them overcome, heal, and still hope, always. To make their voices heard.
Yeah, they do. They did pass that
recently. With all of their scars on the outside and the inside. To help them not ever become a casualty of domestic violence as so many others. To stop the abuse and maltreatment before it's too late. There is always hope, and you can survive. In my soft-spoken conclusion, I ask this. Would I be the darling mother, celebrated woman of the year, if it were I who died? How many daughters, mothers, sisters,
reading
aunts,
Shakespeare. What the
grandmothers,
fuck is
nieces,
happening?
and friends
Well, now she's being a politician, and she wants to be a role model for other abuse victims.
Oh,
a survivor of your own stupidity. Oh my God.
Really, there's no words. Like, it's hard to even fathom this is reality right now.
I told you, whatever you thought, it was worse than what you thought.
Yeah, this is fucking bad. Like,
this is slam poetry that I neither paid for, and this is the worst vagina monologues I've ever seen.
Open mic night at the trailer park. Mandy nailed it. Oh, fuck. Dude. She's flipping a page?
Learn to do good. Seek justice. Rebuke oppressors. Defend the fatherless. Plead for the widow. Isaiah 1:17. All-encompassing. Protect the abused.
Oh my God, what's happening, bro? This is crazy.
Gathering your thoughts, did you want to make an oral statement?
I do.
All right, would you do that now?
Yes, please. My verbal statement is primarily to the Torres family, to the judge, to his daughters. I know you all know who I really am and that I did care for George and that I do still love George.
I have never felt so much like Will Smith in my entire life. Like, bitch, keep their names out your mouth. First of all, you don't talk about the Torres family.
Yeah.
Second of all, you don't talk about Judge Kraynick, brows of justice.
No.
And third of all, just fuck you.
Dude. Yeah, dude. Yeah, my statement is primarily for, shut the fuck up. Okay, like, yeah, I can't even, man. This would have been
tough.
tough.
The quote from Billy Madison's principal, if I were Judge Kraynick, I'd be like, I need a soundbite right quick.
Dude, I do wish he could have sound bites. That would be amazing.
We need the YouTubeification. We are the future. We need the YouTubeification of court.
Dude, yes. Respectfully, yeah. We'll still respect
like
the
judge
court
can,
in law.
Respectfully deny our soundbite that we would like to use or our little meme.
Or, in this case, I bet he would be like, approved.
And Sarah's just reading them on a tablet.
That would be great.
And then you just see her face and she does the little...
I know
Dude, oh my God, she's a miserable human
you
being.
know that we had very many good days. And I
Jesus, good days.
take offense to the statement of being said that this is just for a moment. Right now with me here in the courtroom in front of you all, this is just for a moment. But the moments before that, in order for me to be here, is endless. It's everlasting. The scars that I have on the inside, my outside scars have healed, except for my stab wound.
Are you
But
sure? Have
this
you
has
seen your
changed me
face?
as a person to see things differently and to
God,
understand
even her
things
eyes are
differently
trying to
and
escape. That's why she's blinking so much. They're like, oh my God, the cringe, the cringe.
Like, she's in the middle of sort of apologizing, not really, but like she still had to throw in another quip. She's like, you know, I'm healed, you know, emotionally, but you know, that damn physical stab wound still nags me. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, did she think that the judge is like he's already made his decision? I'm good here. I'll say whatever the fuck I want up here.
What the fuck did Owens edit out? I need to FOIA the unedited.
This is the edited version. That's right. Dude, we need the unedited version right now because I don't know what the fuck that would be, but
because Jesus, it was probably like 300 pages. Had you know an appendix? It was bigger than the Silmarillion.
yeah, the longest letter to a judge, which was like 50 fucking pages. Yeah, it would have been like hundreds of like, dude, no man. Wow, this is really crazy.
And
like, it feels like a dream. It's so bad.
just try to protect yourself and
I thought I was on peyote for a couple
forever,
minutes.
regardless of the time that I may
was like,
receive
is this
from
what
today.
an ayahuasca trip feels like?
I
Don't
forever
fucking
will
lie.
have
This is
this
stupid.
experience. I forever will have
This isn't cool at
George
all.
Torres with me in my heart, in my mind, my body, and my soul.
George says, "Leave
as
me
he
the
and I
fuck
used
out
to
of
say
your
that we
heart."
were one soul split into two bodies. This is not just for a moment. It may be for everyone in this courtroom, but when I leave, this is forever.
Good
when
point,
you all
Brooklyn.
leave, that this is forever.
Finally,
This
one
is
true thing
forever
she said.
for
It is
everyone
forever.
here and
I'm so happy.
those who it matters to most. I am one of those who will experience this forever. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Words do not define my
it's not going to be fun,
shame. And
forever.
dude. I wish I had a
I don't know
soundbite
what
of
else
it, but
it
I
is that
don't. And I used to have it. It's the most annoying thing ever. Yeah, I even got annoyed by it, but you could only imagine other people at first. But there's this like, I'm a huge wrestling fan, and like in like the '80s, one of my favorite wrestlers, Terry Funk, retired, and as he's retiring in Japan, he gets on the microphone and he just starts, you know, the last thing he says is "forever." He just keeps repeating it. Forever.
And I was going Sandlot when he was trying to tell him about the beast, and he's like, forever.
Yeah, that's a good one too,
Forever.
dude.
Sandlot is like
The
that's how
Sandlot
that's how
rules.
you know. That's how you know you found a friend who gets it, like a fellow latchkey kid. It's kind of like our secret like thing. Like, you're killing me, Smalls. And if they
Yeah,
answer,
dude.
if they answer s'more of what? I don't even have anything right now. Then you know you found a friend. It's our secret shake for the latchkey kids.
Oh, absolutely, man. And dude, that movie's classic as fuck. Like, I think, is that a
love
Disney
that
film?
movie. I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but it feels like one of those old school, like, it is a kid's film, but it's like, man, it
Oh,
has
yeah.
the best. If those movies back then in the 90s had, like, an adult could actually enjoy them.
Yeah, I do want to rant about something because I saw Radio Flyer a bunch when I was a kid, because being a kid, I thought that he legitimately flew away. So then I watched it as an adult, and spoiler warning for a movie that's, 30 years old. He flippin' dies. The little boy flippin' dies. And I'm like, the fuck, this was a kid's movie? I thought Dark Crystal and Labyrinth were fucked up, but what the fuck, 90s?
Dude, some of those movies back then did fuck some kids, like, there's some dark stuff in there.
There
like,
was Old Yeller and To Kill a Mockingbird,
Yeah, and
earlier,
that's like,
but
yeah.
can we talk about The Labyrinth for just 5 seconds? I need a break from Sarah.
Yeah.
But Jim Henson, I have like 15 questions. We're essentially watching a movie where a man who look, his codpiece deserved a credit scene. Like, we were just crotchular David Bowie level because of the Muppets. But, and I love this movie. I love this movie to death. But as an adult, I'm looking at it. So an old man steals a baby to essentially marry an 18-year or a 16-year-old.
Yeah,
and he
dude.
dances with little puppets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's when you really kind of look at the actual and songs as well, like some of the lyrics in some of these old songs, you're like, I mean, there's definitely some sexual assault going on here, underage stuff. Like, and every song is basically
I had not realized
a 14-year-old
codpiece time we got, but it was just like hip thrust, Muppet gets assaulted,
dude.
Muppet
Yeah,
goes to HR. Like,
I haven't watched Labyrinth in, dude, probably a decade or more, maybe longer than that.
I was in love
But I do
with
remember
David
a lot
Bowie.
of thrusting.
I was like,
I love
I'm
David Bowie.
conflicted here because he's bad, but he had that swagger.
Yeah,
he had
yeah.
that swagger.
Yeah, David Bowie, man, he's missed. He was one of the coolest humans walking the earth. I really like David Bowie. Do you like Twin
Bring
Peaks?
back I just never. I was so young, my mom wouldn't let me watch it, and then I didn't ever get into it.
David Bowie's not in it a lot, but he is in it, and it's amazing.
Oh,
Like
cool.
his stuff is cool.
I'm rewatching The Golden Girls right now. I needed some Dorothy, Blanche, and Rose.
Dude,
my
I
favorite
love
Sophia.
old TV is my jam. Like old television. When I was growing up,
Except
fucking
I
TV
just
Land, I
saw-
lived on that shit.
I just saw the pilot for Golden Girls because I was waiting to watch this, and they used to have a gay cook called Coco. Why couldn't we bring him back? Can you imagine the snark bitchiness that would be added if we kept Coco? I'm filing a petition. And
Dude.
we need to digitally add Coco into every new Golden Girls.
100%. Yeah, I had a buddy that went back into Golden Girls. It's been in the last couple of years, and he kept telling me, he's like, dude, you got to get back into it because it's so funny. And I never did. Like, I haven't probably watched a Golden Girls episode since I was probably a teenager. And it was randomly on, in the house or on like TV Land or something. But dude, I remember one of my favorite shows ever was like Three's Company, dude. Like, I like Andy Griffith. Like, that's gonna sound super lame, but like old shows have a vibe that are magical. Like,
Can we start making movies like? Yeah, Radio Flyer was tragic, but it also was magical for a kid. And it was smart enough that you can watch it again as an adult and get the tearjerker that it really is. But movies used to be like that because I used to watch Shrek with my little sister, who was born when I was a senior in high school. But I mean, I was the only senior in high school who wasn't pregnant, but my mom was.
That's a good joke.
But Shrek was hilarious, but it had those jokes, it had those layers, and now things.
Oh, Mo. Did I lose Mo? Well, no. I did lose Mo. Hopefully she comes back in. Okay, if she comes back in, I think we'll be good. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here. We still have a wheel to spin as a way for her to come back in, and we're going to finish Sarah Boone's ungodly bad statement to the fucking Torres family, of all people.
I'm telling you like it is, baby.
See if she comes back in here real quick. She should be able to come back in here, I believe. She messaged me. No, she didn't. Here she is, yeah. Hey.
I was like, what the hell did I do now?
Let me make sure. Yeah, you're good. Yeah. No, you're good. Sometimes it will glitch out randomly, but welcome back.
I love that I'm such a recovering Catholic that I'm like, what did I do?
Real quick, I kind of got off the train of thought there, but talking about movies that fucked you up as a kid, Homeward Bound.
Oh my gosh, Shadow. I always wanted to be sassy when I grew up.
Dude, those
and
movies.
Then Shadow's like, just go on with help me.
Oh my God.
And Chance is like, no, Shadow.
Dude, that movie it's also amazing. It actually has a really good ending. But there's moments of that movie that wreck your soul if you're a child. As an adult, fuck. I mean, especially as a child, though.
I know, and then the oldest boy is just waiting for Shadow, and Chance and Sassy are there, and it's like, oh shit.
Dude. Yeah, man. And then when he starts coming on up, though, it's like, oh.
Yeah, that and Milo and Otis.
Yeah,
that movie.
Yeah, dude. And those are kids' movies. Like, they used to really go for the jugular on some children's emotions. Like,
I know. It's just like, okay.
Yeah, everybody. One thing, we are still going to spin a wheel, so stick around for that. And God, let's keep going here.
I can say and
thank you guys for
convey
indulging in the
to
break.
the Torres
Yes,
family.
you have to have a second. I
How
still
this
can't believe
happened.
this is reality.
This is a fever
The
dream.
ifs
that
and
Satan
whys and
created.
how really don't
God,
matter.
Shelley, my
It
girl.
happened, and I'm sorry.
My girl's brutal.
Oh yeah.
Words cannot describe.
Where is glasses?
Where is his glasses?
And I hope that everyone can forgive me, the Torres family most of all, and his daughters, because I know what he meant to them. And I don't think that anybody ever understood what he meant to me and I to him. And I ask for forgiveness.
That
After
sister comes
basically
up.
calling them shit turd sandwiches, salting all their wounds, I would ask for forgiveness. I have forgiven them of their transgressions.
You know, they were pretty rude on some occasions. I didn't like their
and can you
tone.
believe that people call me a murderer just because I got convicted?
I have a
That
life
people
in prison.
They perceive me as a murderess. Can you believe it?
I'm on the same level as some of these serial killers out here, essentially, in the eyes of these people. You know what? I would actually free maybe one of these killers just for, if you could take their place on death row potentially. I don't know. I really hate Sarah Boone.
I am so ready for her to test out all the experimental things. Like if we need someone to test, out seed oils, if we need someone to test out Rogaine, if we need someone to test out, the new Cialis.
Save the rats, save the mice, save the dogs, save the cats. Yes, put Sarah Boone in this position.
I am totally okay doing psychological tests on her.
Dude, I'm there.
Like
now.
a little mouse. Could you imagine if you could build her a maze and then she had to push, like she had to become a good person. So instead of like in the range when, targets will pop up, it's like a person and she has to say a compliment and not be a cunt. to
It
get
never
like,
happens.
Yeah, and she's just stuck at the door.
This time I've got this. This time I've got this. She's just like trying with all of her being, and it always comes out being a bitch. Like, fuck.
Yeah. She's like, damn it, again, shock.
And you can speak on it if you want or not. But this is a unique case, and one of the reasons it's so unique is that you were in jail for 4.5 years prior to your trial. And I understand that when
Owens
you were
is
brought up as a
subliminally
child,
telling the judge,
did,
4 years is enough.
Have some
maybe she should go to the house
spirituality in your family.
There's
Some
not
church,
another lawyer
some
that could
religion.
have worked with her.
They were
Whether
meant to
he is-
be. That was her
whether this is
best
put
bet.
on, whether this is put on and this is what I would like to see. I would like to see if he always mirrors the behavior of his client, because he does seem to be doing a lot of mirroring. He takes on kind of her personality and has during this trial. So it would be very interesting to see him do another case to see if he mirrors this or this is how he is. But I think that this is his genuine personality. Something spoke. Again, he's the only one that watched that fucking video and said, God, what did George do to her?
Yeah, clearly every other lawyer was going to take a different route, and they weren't going to be going down whatever road she wanted to, what we ended up seeing in the trial. And he was the only one that was like, you know what? Yeah, I can get behind this. I'm cool with this.
Always.
But I understand that you got away from that. Did you have a chance during the 4.5 years to look back at your spirituality?
Absolutely. Everyone
I keep
supposes
my
that
soul
this is
in a
one of the worst
jar.
experiences of my life, and it's actually been one of my greatest.
I look at it sometimes.
If I were not beaten to death, I was
And
going
then
to
put it
work
back in my
myself to death
drawer.
on the outside, and I never had time to get back into my Bible and to pray and to be with the Lord. And I, being here incarcerated, have had time, of course,
Oh, okay.
to
So what I
get
said
closer
earlier has
to
already
God,
happened.
to reacquaint
He
myself
found Jesus.
to
He was
Him
hiding behind the
and
couch next to Waldo.
realize what it's all about. It's
Jesus ain't going to like you
this
either.
is
You're
all
going to be
temporary.
abusive to him
And
as
when
well.
I say
I
temporary,
imagine.
I don't mean by being set free in jail or from prison or wherever else. It means being set free, and temporary, meaning that you work for
Oh,
something
shit, Cammie.
higher.
10 buzzed memberships just got gifted out. Let's see who gets those. Mandy, Helen B, Jane Kreshman, Candy Temple. Here's the fun part. See if I can see all these names. Kersey Nursium, Jess M80, Catastrophe, Connie Kinder, Missy RN, and Karen B. Welcome in here, everybody. Hell yeah, appreciate
I have
that.
a lot of people from Wales, and I'm like, I want to say your name right and not commit a hate crime. Could you phonetically put it out?
Oh, dude.
there?
I actually
like-
fuck up names so bad. Like, that's actually one of my worst things.
And I pull up news. There are times I just highlight the name in the article and say something foreign. Again, I don't want to commit a hate crime.
Dude, no, I'm with you 100%. I always take a shot at it. Like, I always give it a shot, but no, I often feel like
Except for Welsh. There's like 37 L's, 2 W's, and a Y, and possibly an N. And I'm like,
this is it's a bit much. Like, I don't really... That's a name. I've definitely said literally that name before. Like, thanks, everybody,
and then if
getting
you're
in here.
slightly dyslexic, all the numbers at the end, I'm like, oh, crap.
No, it's a thing in my chat. People know that I'm really bad at it.
And
I got
you guys
those
in
though, you
chats
son of a
for
bitches.
being so forgiving of us. You know, I always excuse that I graduated before No Child Left Behind, and I failed Hooked on Phonics.
Dude, I have a I'm very lucky. Like that I got out of school. I'm very lucky. I feel like yeah. I wasn't the best student, as you could imagine.
Or you work for God, that you strive for your crown to be placed upon your head by Jesus Christ by being said, "You have done well, my good and faithful servant." I've always tried to be
I'll
a
take
good and
things
faithful
that'll
servant.
never happen for
I was just a
$8,000, Alex.
servant, as opposed to
Question
doing all
or
that
answer.
I can when
What is Sarah
my
Boone getting
family...
in heaven?
Yeah, Sarah Boone, she keeps talking about God and Jesus and heaven. Yeah, we need to... Can we just flip that real quick? Because we need to bring in Lucifer. We need to bring in hell.
Were thunderclouds forming? I feel like she is lucky she is in her slides and they are plastic. Because right now, the little streamers going up from her head, God is trying to send a bolt of lightning down.
Yeah, she's
There
lucky.
is a reason I wear Crocs into church, okay? I say outrageous crap. So
No,
I am
dude.
taking no chances.
They were alive, and I was going through everything up to this point. I've become so much more closer to the Lord, and it's made me such a better person, and I hope that I am an example going forward of the Lord's light and can draw many people to me because of it.
Any follow-up, State?
I exempt myself from being drawn towards her.
Thank you.
There are some things I won't.
She
It's
can
like
return back to
Meatloaf.
counsel's
There's
table.
some things I won't do for Jesus, and that's
Anything
a
else
one
from
of
your side of the
them.
ledger, Mr. Rollins?
No more witnesses, Judge, just arguments.
Okay. Anything else in rebuttal?
That was
Proceed
something,
to
dude.
argument, State.
Just proceed, argument.
Body
All
slammer.
right. Once Ms. Booth's seated, you can proceed with your argument, either Mr. J or Mr. Cacciatore.
I mean, at this point, someone help me into the ring. Someone help me get on the top rungs and hold
You may
her.
proceed, sir.
And I want to try one of those flying
Your Honor,
suplex. Is it called a
I'm going to start
suplex?
my argument.
Yeah.
Okay.
By what I
Yeah, suplex from like the
just-
top rope. Take this bitch over.
Coming out, you know, the theme of DMX. Just X gonna give it to you, just brushing off my shoulders, doing my little, I can't dance.
X
And
gonna
then,
give it to you.
Take off my robe, this glittering American flag with a big middle finger in the front,
Dude,
and
that
I am the Avenginator. I am
like
the
that.
cunt destroyer. No, that sounds.
Wait a
never
minute.
mind, that's for
I am the cunt destroyer. I like that. I mean,
Why is it you realize what you say only after that filter thing?
That was amazing.
Some people actually think before they speak. I have
Oh,
no
man.
idea.
Oh man.
I'm telling you like it is, baby.
Hell yes.
Mr. Rollins
All right, so what do we got here?
Okay, so this is the part where the state
regarding,
explains
the plea
she
offer.
got a plea deal, but it was predicated on her accepting responsibility. So basically, she wouldn't have qualified given what she just said there, they probably would have revoked the plea deal.
She should have
because
taken that. What an idiot.
she is the dumbest dum-dum in the entire world.
Like, but yeah, after everything, like you were just saying, after everything that we've learned now, I've changed my opinion, right? Like, she should have let all this get out there, man. Like, it's not good. Like,
I feel like casual criminalist. I started with like the death penalty might be wrong, and now I'm like friar.
I mean, yeah, I started out completely different. Like, I always thought she was not great, but I mean, I didn't think what I think now about her. Like, she's one of the worst humans.
Here today.
So, let's see if I've caught this here.
The statements of character witnesses, both orally and in writing.
Yeah, I think this is it.
Dr. Harper's report and testimony. The defendant's testimony. Pre-sentencing investigation. The arguments of the state and the arguments of the defense.
I would be snarking it
Court
up.
pronounces sentence as follows. Ms. Boone, court sentences you to life in the Department of Corrections with credit time served that Madam Clerk will provide to you momentarily. There are also court costs and costs of prosecution, which Madam Clerk will give you the totals of momentarily. Due to the court levying a life sentence, the court is inclined to liquidate those to a civil judgment unless I hear opposition from the state.
No opposition, Your Honor.
Make sure you're subbed up
Madam
also.
Clerk, if you could please give us the credit time served and the court costs, please.
4 years, 9 months, and 8 days, and the court costs are $418, a state prosecution fee of $100, a dirt fee of $50, and a PD fee. Oh, excuse me, you're not
I'm right.
So the total would come up to 618.
This is such a
All right,
blessing.
ma'am, the court
because
costs and costs of prosecution are
they won't have to go through the
$618.
Susan Smith thing. They won't have to in however many years, every 2 years, deal with her cunty face.
Yeah.
The judgment and sentence in writing. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided to you. I'm going to have the courtroom deputy provide you the paperwork. Because you've been incarcerated for the last 58 some odd months, the court is going to declare that you are indigent in this matter. I cannot appoint the public defender to represent you as they are conflicted out.
16 letters.
Yeah, dude, I'm dumbfounded at the actual statement that she gave.
I told you it. Like, I was just beyond
to not be able to even sort of kind of read the room. Like to again go into acting mode if you have to pretend. I don't know, like how she would.
I was so mad I was numb. Like my body just couldn't process all the mad. It was like my kidney was like, no. My liver was like, come on.
Bro. That was crazy, dude. Everybody's getting the hell out of there now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't think Owens wants to do it again either. I mean,
I don't think he has appellate experience. And I'm friends with an appellate attorney, and what they do is essentially go over the transcripts and make sure that the judge, like, there's no obvious errors. Now, if Sarah
like
Boone
her rights
decides
wasn't stamped on, or
yeah,
stomped on.
Yeah, so she's going to go through, she's going to make sure that there were no errors. I'm sure she's going to check the case law about her going pro se for a bit and things like that. But essentially, they're just looking for any obvious errors. I mean, unless you are paying a hotshot appellate attorney, and I'm not saying that the state appellate or state appointed ones are bad, but they obviously have a bunch of cases.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you have an appellate attorney that looks at the individual, aspects of your case and can very specifically argue them for your locality and your jurisdiction, then it's really just kind of looking through, doing their due diligence, going through all the paperwork and making sure that, her rights weren't abused and the judge went by, statutory laws.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and I don't think they're going to find anything. Like, Kraynick was pretty awesome. He was fair as hell. I mean, he didn't add any kind of extra, bullshit there. He was professional.
Well, I think Kraynick, unlike Owens and Sarah, can read the room. He probably saw how absolutely fucking hard and despicable this woman was, and to have to deal with this woman throwing all this shade when she killed your friend or your loved one, your dad, everything else. He was probably like, he probably had a speech, and he could probably see that this was killing the family and just went with, because he can read the room. And
yeah, unlike Sarah,
notice, he like, you know, God bless you or gazoon tight, you know, every time someone coughed, he's incredibly, you know, attentive about what's going on in his courtroom.
Yeah, his awareness level is really high.
And he's kind. He's very kind. He's personable. He's, you know, so Sarah could not have asked for a better judge. Could you imagine Judge Borowski with this chick? She'd have been trebucheted to the Missouri River. Like,
yeah, dude. Yeah, she's something else, man. This was the entire experience over the years has been a unique experience, but the trial itself has been something else.